watch along for this evening. Enjoy, folks.
That's incredible.
That was epic, wasn't it?
This is the bit with the jazz hands. Why did no one else jazz hands?
I can't compete with that. I'm coming. My pizza's here.
I shit myself then because I thought it had all broken, and then I forgot there was an intro video. So it's just like, oh right, that's what it is. I was trying to get my phone. Shit, it's broke. It's broke.
There's always been an intro video. I don't know what you're all on about. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the live watch along. Man United versus Everton, 4M1T. We've got myself, Danny, Dale, Lee, and Josh, and a very, very special guest tonight, Gav Matt from Stop Football. Give us a wave, mate. How you doing?
I can't stop doing jazz hands.
Here he is.
Dale's here.
Finally.
Figured out that new laptop after all. Still a bit of a challenge, mate.
We said before, like Dale said he's on his way. I was like, what's he doing? Winding up his laptop. What's he bought?
Someone's on the dial-up. That's a problem.
It's got to be better than the Apollo 13 shit I had before.
I just don't understand it because it's normally like, people run on Black Man time, but I was here first, so I'm well confused. Dale, there's no excuse.
Dale's usually the last one, aren't you?
Yeah.
Should we get to the task at hand, boys, which is a very, very tense, nervy 4M1T derby. I'm sure the most tensest of us all is Josh. And Josh, mate, we'll come to you first because I cannot make head nor tail of the Everton lineup.
I think it's a good side. I really like the team that he's fielding tonight.
Can you explain to me, because there's a couple of players I saw and I thought, I don't know where they're actually playing. Like, I know where 6 or 7 of them are playing. I don't know what the system is. Explain to me, mate. Go on.
Well, finally playing Ben Godfrey in his right position, which is great. Obviously, Luke Dean's back now, so he's left that. And And then Ben Godfrey alongside him, centre half. Mason Holtgate, right back. So no Seamus tonight. A little bit of youth, a little bit of pace, hopefully, to stop your fast strikers and wingers. I've not actually seen your lineup, but who are you playing up top tonight?
Cavani.
Big man.
Cavani, mate.
Eddie.
Cavani's in.
Big Edison.
So we've got pretty much the usual lineup, but we're going back with Greenwood on the right again.
Yeah.
So apart from that, it's BAU.
Dropped Fred for Pogba, which I kind of expected, to be honest. I think the way Pogba's been playing, it was harsh for him to not play in the Southampton game, but wasn't needed.
I hate Edison Cavani with every ounce of my soul. Now, I am part of you lot today, so
kick him out. Kick him out.
Get him out. Honestly, right, it's 4M, 1T, and a Gooner. But this Gooner is also a Palermo fan, and the way he left us in 2009 under acrimonious circumstances, that guy, I swear to God, I hate him. Hate him.
Already. Too soon for the swearing.
Do you know what? I think I'm kind of, or I used to be on your side, mate. When he was at PSG, I hated Cavani as well. And I used to constantly go on about how he was the most overrated striker in Europe. But now he's at United. It's funny how he naturally comes across to me as actually being the best striker.
Like a Ballon d'Or
of the
winner.
Premier League. Yeah. It's funny that, isn't it? I don't know how that happens really, but now I actually rate him really highly.
I remember
It's an odd thing for me to do a U-turn like that.
I remember the transfer deadline day podcast we did. Ironically, while I was munching pizza, there's a theme with our podcasts. It always involves pizza in some sort of fashion. And you boys were just really unsold on the fact. And I came in all guns blazing, like, yep, he's going to be fucking mint. I love the signing. I love the experience. I don't get it often, boys. I think I was right.
No, it's not often.
It isn't often. I know.
We'll
But
see.
I did call.
When you're right, you're
I
right.
did call that Liverpool might not finish in the top 4. And I still might be there.
I called that as well.
To be honest with you, I'm a little
And that as well.
I said City to win the league, Man United to come second, and then Liverpool to come 4th. But I accidentally said that Arsenal come 3rd. So, 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Take 3 out of 4.
You didn't have to mention that if you didn't want to.
It's there. It's there on screen. People can go back and find it. And be like, wah, wah, wah.
I feel like as well, boys, we're a bit of a curse. I was re-listening to our pod from Wednesday, which was funny enough recorded on Monday, and we were all doom and gloom about United, and it was fucking hilarious listening to it after the 9-0.
Yeah.
This is what usually happens, though, isn't it?
Yeah, we do it all the time, every time.
I feel awkward for bringing it up, but do you remember the podcast the three of us did, Danny, me, you and Dale, where we were talking about Arsenal, Aston Villa, the first fixture of the season, and Dale said that Arsenal were going to absolutely batter Villa.
Yep.
Gav, mate, Dale's cursed you. It's his fault.
Yeah. You should take full blame for that. I actually quite gutted about that game today because, Arsenal didn't even get a chance to begin the game, so to speak. We were 1-0 down after just, a minute and 20 seconds, but we controlled that game from that moment on. All the Villa opportunities that they had were all from counter-attacks, from being pinned in by Arsenal. But I think Arsenal fans, honestly, there's nothing worse on the planet than Arsenal fans. I think they embarrass me. It makes
you met a Liverpool fan?
No. At least they've won things recently. Do you know what I mean? Like Arsenal win the FA Cup, and all of a sudden that includes the what's the one in sailing? I can't remember that. They've won the Super Bowl. They've won the US Open. They've won all this sort of stuff because we won the FA Cup. Just calm down, man. We're an average team nowadays. Get over yourselves.
Should we say the regatta? We'll go with the regatta.
Yeah, Oxford boat race.
Yeah, Oxford boat race. Yeah, screw it. That one. It's going to wind me up. I need to know what it's called now.
There's a lot to be decided in the world, but you know what we can all decide on? Silence, please, lads.
Oh, you know I love that sound.
Excellent.
Oh yeah.
Cracking a camera.
What are we all drinking, by the way, lads? What are we all drinking?
I'm on the Gwyn today.
Of course he is.
Big win for the big Gwyn.
I'm on the San Miguel myself.
Made by Guinness. I've gone with the
I
Hop House.
love a hop house.
Nice. I like that.
I don't normally like it. But for whatever reason,
got a taste.
Some turn up in the house. And it was in a bottle, and I'm like, well, on draft, it's a little bit like, oh, I don't know. But in a bottle, woof, beautiful.
By your 12th one, you're thinking, this is all right, this.
Well, I just need
Especially just after a nap as well. Oh.
Love it. I'm on the Arbor Cafe Creme. Got it from Marks and Sparks yesterday. I don't belong in Marks and Sparks, by the way. When I go in M&S, people look at me. They know. They're like, there's an intruder in here.
You must be a mystery
There is
shopper.
one imposter amongst us.
That man is wearing Lonsdale. He does not belong.
Lonsdale trainers, like high school quality. I've
Blank white prime.
gone for you can't really see it. I've got a lovely frosted Everton cup here, but I've gone for a Strongbow dark fruit. Now, don't judge me. I got 2 crates given to me for Christmas by my aunties, so I'm just going through those nicely.
Did that come along with some Lynx Africa as well?
It's not Christmas without Lynx Africa, mate.
100%.
Oh my
Do you know what? I had over 4.5 Lynx Africas bought on Christmas Day, and it came in by like 8 a.m. I was cleaning up.
Do you not get a cash out on that? No.
It didn't need one. Before I cracked my
I would've
first
gone for
beer
a cash
open, I
out.
was on like 6. I was like, I should have put more on.
Right, we are about to start. We are lining up teams and stuff on the pitch. Before we get going, let's do some plugs. So for people who are tuning in, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We massively appreciate it. Please follow us on social at WeAre4M1T. Get it right, Chris. And also show some love to Gav Mack and the boys. 2 Up Top Football. Handles are at the bottom there. Lads, should we sync up?
Yeah, please.
Should we do it? Should we do it at kickoff when we've got a timer on the screen?
Yeah.
Yes. So they are having the minute silence now, I think.
Yeah, I'm just about behind.
I've not got a pause button here. What's going on?
Have you got it on Now TV? Lee?
Yeah, the Now TV player.
I have, yeah.
I have as well. I can see Sir Bobby Charlton stand on the screen, and now I've got the United squad.
Yeah, I'm just ahead
about
of you. I think,
two
so.
seconds in front of that.
What are we saying, lads? Predictions before we actually get the kickoff in. I think 2-1. I'm going to sit by what I said earlier this week. I think we'll win 2-1. Tight game, but I think we'll just about squeak it.
Ooh.
I expect a Manchester United victory. I expect one, especially after what happened midweek. But it's Man United, but then again, it's Everton. So I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw.
Excellent. I'm going to stick with my guns. I've been saying 1-1, so I'm going to say 1-1. I think we've got.
You actually said 5-0 earlier to me and Ian.
Yeah, but I was taking the mickey there. I'm saying 1-1 because we've got a cracking away form this year, so we'll go with that.
Think I'll stick with my prediction in the predictions table. I picked 3-1. I'm sticking with it. I think it should be. No offense, Josh. This should be comfortable.
Yeah, I think
you're wrong.
I think
Is there anything worse than someone saying it should be comfortable?
It doesn't hurt me.
Hey.
My water off a duck's back.
I spat on him before I put my dick in. All right. Give him a bit of lube.
We've just lost about 40 followers.
And we've gained another 40 from places we don't want.
Have I not seen the Piper Perry gif yet? Where's that been today? I was expecting a picture of my face on Piper Perry, and then you lot stood behind me.
All in good time, mate. All in good time. Dale, what we saying, mate?
I'm agreeing with Danny. Nice 3-1 victory. I may even go very comfortable.
Very good.
You got too many.
We've just
We
had kick
are
off.
off.
Yeah,
Right, okay. So,
De Gea just about to collect the ball now.
thrown it for me.
What are we going to do? Get to 30 seconds and hit the pause button? Or
Yeah.
I haven't got a pause button. I'm panicking here.
No, I haven't
It
got.
won't even let me.
Well, what time is
my
you
God,
two
I'm
boys on
panicking.
now?
It doesn't.
18,
23, 24,
19,
25.
20.
See, I'm on 16.
I'm on 25,
Dale's
26.
still in the
I'm on
Southampton
30
game.
now.
Right, we're pausing at 30.
Yeah.
Right, I paused.
I'm
Me
on
too.
20 now.
27.
I'm on 40,
28,
mate. Can't stop it.
29. There you go.
Right, I'm starting again now. We're all around ballpark.
Yeah.
We're all
Cool.
I won't say anything because I am quite far ahead. I won't say anything if something happens.
No, you better not.
You're joking. You're the most rageist one out of all of us. You'll be like going red, fuming like.
I
Yeah.
can't wait for Lindelof to misplace a 4-yard pass and Lee to throw a can through his fucking wall.
If we go 1-0 up, we'll be smashing that shirt behind him all around his bedroom.
Yeah, head first.
Bang.
Why do you think I got this shirt on? If anything goes wrong for United tonight, I watch basketball, mate. I don't know what the fuck you are all on about.
I can't even claim that though because we fucking lost today, England. So I'm annoyed no matter what.
Well, my boys are in the Super Bowl tomorrow, so and that's it from last year.
I'm looking forward to
That's
that.
come round quick now, isn't it? All of
I
that.
was in LA this time last year when it happened, so it's just mad. It feels like it was about 3 or 4 years ago, but lockdown, that's what it does to you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Makes you start crap podcasts like 2 Up Top.
and us. Do you know why I always think?
I don't want to say.
It's not a crap podcast. It's a belting podcast. And on that note, Follow 2 Up Top Football at 2 Up Top Football.
Did you know? You've been
I'm gonna rock your
that name comes up first.
You beat me to it. I was just about to say it. I was just about to do it. If you're tuning in with us as well, obviously there's our handles at We Are for 1T. We are looking over a corner right now. Luke Shaw about to take it.
I know shit.
Shocking for him recently. He's been absolutely on fire, Luke Shaw. He might end up being our player of the season.
I was thinking that. I was wondering whether they would dare not to give it to Bruno Fernandes, but I think well, the thing is though, someone said the other day that as weird as it sounds, Alex Telles might have been United's signing of the season or anyone's signing of the season because of what he has brought in terms of competition to the team. So Luke Shaw he's now sort of odds on, I think, to get into the England squad for the Euros. And if you think this time last year, that never ever would have been a case. If you would have said that this time last year, someone would have pissed themselves laughing at you. And you think Luke Shaw in the England squad. But the thing is, he's had a kick up the arse because he's had a player come in who's potentially going to take his place. And he's thought, you know what, right? It might be actually time for me to step up and put some performances in. And someone needs to sign a right back now so that Aaron Wan-Bissaka has the same kick up the arse because we need it. And he needs it anyway. But I don't know what you lads think.
I mean, complete agreement with you. And I was about to say, it means you also need to get a right back as well, because there's no right back at your club that is able to offer any form of competition for Wan-Bissaka right now. But I still am a bit of a believer if Luke Shaw was putting in these performances but playing for, a Burnley or something like that, he wouldn't. No one would actually give a shit. Because there are other left backs that are knocking around in the Premier League that have been putting in performance week in, week out that have been absolutely brilliant. But because they're not in the public eye so much, they're not playing for a traditional top 6, top 4 club. Players like Charlie Taylor for Burnley, players like Matt Targett for Villa. Both of those have been fantastic this year, both English, but they won't get a shout because they're not playing for a major club. And I think it's quite sad.
It is sad, but the cream always rises to the top, doesn't it? So these players that are putting it in, week out, you would hope that a bigger club will snatch them up, and that's when they'll be in the public eye a little bit more. Like Tarkowski, for example, playing for Burnley, consistent all the time. You got to be thinking that one of the bigger clubs has been linked with them. One of the bigger clubs has got to snatch them up at some point. Yeah.
And also, they're running out of time with age and things like that as well, aren't they? Because then let's have a look at, let's say for argument's sake, Charlie Taylor, if you look at the traditional top 6, top 4, would he be able to go into Arsenal and get ahead of Kieran Tierney? No. Would he be able to go into United and get ahead of Luke Shaw? No. Would he be able to go to Liverpool and get ahead of Andy Robertson? No. So how is a player like him going to be able to get into that realm of conversation?
By going to City, we've signed about 16 left backs every 10 years, and none of them ever work.
For 50 million, if you don't sign for 50 million, you're no good.
City have spent more on their defence than most countries in the world spend on their own defence.
Military.
I was going to say defence as in military.
Yeah. And then you get like these comments like, Ruben Diaz, what a defender he is, like him and Stones. Listen, undoubtedly the best centre back pair in the season. But if you throw enough shit at the wall, something's going to fucking stick. Do you know what I mean? You're starting that many players, someone's got to get it right, haven't they? But the reason why I loop it around to that is because people have said about Stones recently, he's looked spectacular. And Danny, I think you said it the other day, you wouldn't trust him without Diaz. Do you not think it's the same with other players? Like, so with Tarkowski, great season, but is it not playing with Ben Mee that makes him look even better because their partnership is so good, if that makes sense?
Start them both for England, fuck it. I went through a whole podcast campaigning for Tarkowski to get into the England squad. Go for it, lads. 4-4-2 it, Tarkowski and me at the back. Charlie Taylor left back, why not?
Imagine we 4-4-2'd it to a fucking World Cup or European final.
Why not?
Mate, I'd love
that
it.
Would be horrible, wouldn't it?
Somewhere
We'd 1-0 every game.
Smiling.
I'd rather 4-4-2 it than 3 at the back it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, because Gareth Southgate will. Someone put up a stat earlier that I think Ollie Watkins is the 7th or 6th English player to have 10 goals this season in the Premier League now. And someone said, you know what? Just put them all on the plane. I'd rather see us play like 7 up front than 7 defenders.
I was wondering where that was going then, and I thought, if you try and talk about Patrick Bamford getting in the England squad again, I'm booting you out of the podcast, mate.
Well, I don't think I'll be able to afford it. Week 2 of our Premier League review show this year, we sat there and took the hard piss out of Patrick Bamford. And we said he ain't going to get 10 goals. We said there's no chance he's going to go to the Euros and or get an England call up. So I said, like, if he gets 10 goals, you know, well, this particular fan started giving us loads of shit on YouTube. You don't know anything, rah, rah, you're just hating because of this, that, and the other. I'm like, no, it's Patrick Bamford. He's 28 and he's shit. So if he scores 10 goals, I will personally buy you a shirt. Right, and then if he gets an England call up, I'll pay for your season ticket, and if he goes to the Euros, I'll give you $1,000. I'm shitting myself right now.
You better turn that monetization on, mate. That revenue in.
Can we get sponsored by Manscaped as well?
You think that's bad? If Leeds finish above Sheffield this season, I've got to give Danny 20 quid. I'm gutted, mate. I'm absolutely fuming. I bet the house, when I say the house, I mean 20 quid, on Sheffield United finishing above Leeds.
Confident placing of a bet I've ever seen. It couldn't have gone any worse for you.
With the Blue Boys Network, Everton podcast. In fact, if you only want to follow Everton and stuff, go have a chat with them because they're pretty sound. They are. But I bet Mike from there 20 quid that Arsenal will come higher than Everton. So, you know, it's just a 20 quid merry-go-round, isn't it?
You look at that. I remember Saka playing people onside. What a surprise!
It's not like him. Guys, I just wanted to sort of acknowledge some of the people who were sending through comments. So Carl Taleb just sent us the word Gibbs. Don't know why. Stewie Lease, Josh, a friend of yours and friend of mine from in the past. In the past, I don't know why I said that. He's still a friend of ours. But Stewie, thanks for listening. He says that Godfrey is a versatile and easily one of the best defenders so far this season.
Good point.
We've also got Tim Frost says Josh's curtains rail lines up perfectly with Gav's pop-up filter arm, and it's really
Trust Tim Frost to be the only person I've noticed that throughout the whole thing.
Interior designer Tim Frost.
You smash that, mate.
Fair enough.
I love that.
Fair enough.
Do you want to know the best message, guys? Do you want to know the best message? Here's me message. Mrs. being really supportive. Sorry to interrupt, but Chris Collins, I need your password for Rakuten. Cheers, babe. my number one fan, ladies and gentlemen. My number one fan.
What were you in here 10 minutes in? What are we thinking, boys, so far?
It's cagey, isn't it?
Yeah, it always is.
Apart from Lindelof, thinking he was Lionel Messi a minute ago, just running through bare defenders. There's not really been much going on.
Stuff coming down our left-hand side as I expected. To be honest, they're always dangerous down that left-hand side.
It's two teams that love the left, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's just come up. You know, most assists by defenders. Luca Digne on 6.
Yeah.
And he spent half a season injured as well.
Yeah.
So Replays Darnell says, can we play you every week? I don't know if he's pointing that to United or Everton, but what do you think? Is that because
or Villa?
All the time?
I could point numerous flaws in why we can't play a team every single week, but we'll just entertain you and say no.
Right. Danny's made the decision on behalf of the FA and FIFA. It's not happening. Sorry, Replays Darnell. Any more?
He's talking about. Well, at 0-0, if you just want to draw every week, then yeah.
Guarantee 38 points, really, isn't it? If you start most seasons on 38
points earlier. I was listening to the radio. I won't mention the station because
great sound.
We know the rule. But Aston Villa have already equalled last season's points tally.
Yeah, and I think West Ham have done the same as well. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
It's mental, that, isn't it?
West Ham have got to be disappointed with their result against Fulham today.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I only saw like the red cards, but by the looks of things, Fulham were pretty on top of the whole game as well.
Fulham played some good football.
Yeah,
Fulham do play some good football. You're right.
Ademola Lookman always looks really threatening as well. He has got some class, that lad. He had a free kick that he probably should have scored, though, just outside the box.
So is like Loftus-Cheek as well. We said about Loftus-Cheek, what a good signing that was. If he can stay fit, like he'll be pushing Euros as well.
Back in the day, I used to be a referee, and I can tell you guys because you can't take the piss because all the top boys always do. It's like, what? Did you used to be a referee? Yes, I did. Yeah, it was Chris Kafowski.
I wish I had a book to hand. I was looking for something. Then I was like, shit.
Where's the archive book? Ed's got that. No, but it was end of 2013, and I refereed Fulham versus not Fulham. It was Chelsea versus Reading under 18s, and Loftus-Cheek played in that game. They won 6-0. He set at 5 and scored 1, and he was just wading through people like they weren't even there. He looked like prime Yaya Toure. He was immense. I was like, mate, like this guy is going to make it. And when I saw him make his debut a year later, I was like, yes, Football Manager find. I told you lot to sign him after what I saw on that Saturday morning, and then he ended up getting picked for the World Cup and that. And I thought he was one of the top performers in the World Cup for England that year.
And that's why I think he might have a shot of going to the Euros again, because Southgate loves his players that perform for him already. Like he loves picking players that he can trust, and I feel like Loftus-Cheek, if he can stay fit, is a player that he can trust to perform at an international level. Yeah. Unfortunately, another one of them is Pickford.
So speaking of Pickford, Replays Darnell has been back in touch. If only Pickford was fit, he could have played and won the game.
He's got a very good point there. I'm glad he's not playing.
He's trolling. Olsen had a really good game during the week. I mean, like, what are your thoughts on Pickford? You know, being an Everton fan.
I mentioned it in the podcast this week. There's only so much time you can give somebody, and so many mistakes you can accept before they're just not good enough. And he's made one too many for me now. I've tried to stick by him just like Ancelotti has, but for me, Olsen needs to be starting as he is here. He had a brilliant game for us the other day. I don't know if you caught us, but he made so many deep saves, kept us in the game. I'd like to get Olsen on full time if possible, if we could sign him on a permanent deal. But like Danny said in our podcast, there's going to be a plethora of goalkeepers available. So, people have been mentioning Darlow. I mean, he had a good game today, some decent saves.
Yeah, he's good.
Pickford's just not good enough for a team that's pushing for European football. And we've spent quite a bit of money.
Sorry, just saw the comment.
Yeah,
there is some fantastic comments flying in.
Oh, mate. Some of these out. Shout out to Iona. Bet you're regretting buying that jersey now, Lee. Yeah, I think he is. He's absolutely gutted.
He didn't buy it.
Lee's brother.
I didn't buy it. Yeah.
Zach's come in. Love it, lads. Football, not my thing. Keep up. Cheers, Zach. Much appreciated, mate. Matt Boswell has dropped in. Says that Dale looks like he's about to do some cold calling at half time.
Good afternoon and welcome to Internet Service Providing Company.
Oh, there's a pigeon in the vault. Pickford couldn't catch COVID.
That's sensational.
You do an impression of that phone jacker character as well, don't you, Lee?
If he played, he could have broke someone's ACL, and then he also replied Liverpool first place. Replays, I don't know if you ever looked at the league table, but there's like this amazing statistical thing that if you win games, you go up in like a point system, and Liverpool are currently fourth, so you might want to relook it again.
Also, I don't want to get medical, but I do have a sport and exercise science degree, and you don't break an ACL. You snap.
Well, if you snap them, it's broken, isn't it?
Very true point. But having said that, thank you very much for tuning in, Replays Darnell. Much appreciated. Even if your comments are a bit wayward, we appreciate you watching, mate.
Keep the banter flowing, mate.
I'm a big fan of Replays Darnell for what he said about Pickford. I can completely agree with him. But when he said Liverpool first place, I lost just a little bit of respect.
How to get followers, alienate your commenters. That's how you do it.
City first place, and we can say that being for United fans, an Evertonian and an Arsenal fan, I think we're all pretty much unanimously agreed that no one's catching City this season.
I thought you were about to say that we could say that they are first place. I was like, I can give you a literal table that shows that they are first place.
It's going to be City, and I do fear for Liverpool tomorrow. I really do.
I think they're going to get battered.
Do you not, Gav?
No, there's something that's telling me, they can't be that dreadful at home again. And the way, the way Burnley play football is different to the way that Brighton play football. Liverpool, I think, were complacent in both of those games. They can't afford to be complacent tomorrow. If they do lose, it will be like 1-0 or 2-1. It will be really tight. But I would understand how Liverpool will be able to get a victory tomorrow, because I'm bored of listening to this. Oh, yeah, but we haven't got Van Dijk. It's like, get over yourselves, man.
Just
you know what I mean? Like, Van Dijk is not the only player that you've got. All right? Yeah. So, yeah, it's I can see Liverpool making an effort tomorrow, but I can't see them getting pumped.
Oh, what was your prediction again, Collins?
4-0.
Yeah, mine was 3-0.
Pumping.
No drama.
Chris is top of the predictions for a reason, isn't he? He knows this sort of shit. So,
yeah. Well, Gav might not know. We've got a predictions league, so you get 3 points for a correct result, bang on, and you get 1 point for like a correct prediction. So if you predict win, lose, or draw, and I've hit the 100 today, mate. 100 points today. My closest is Danny. You won 94, Danny. 93, 94. So you're getting closer. You're getting closer.
You still won't get a couple of quid in the pot, and then is it done that way?
We didn't actually do that this time. No, did we? We did that for fantasy football like last year before, or did we? Or am I just making it up in my head?
Do you know what?
Made up that?
Might have been a good year. It might have been. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've had 7 Guinnesses now.
Should we all put a tenner in now? Should we do it now for this predictions league? Put a tenner in now.
No, definitely not.
Oh yeah, I'm about 50 points behind.
Not giving into peer pressure just because we're live.
Unpopular opinion: I fucking hate fantasy football.
Oh yeah,
I really do, because like it's
not unpopular, mate. We all do.
No, but people gas off it too much, don't they? And then like when it comes to certain situations, it's like, oh, this player's shit. Why? Oh, well, he only averages like 4 points a game on fantasy football. Oh, piss off, man! If that is all you're basing your football knowledge on, why are we having this conversation in the first place? Do you know what I mean? Like, it does my.
There are a lot of people that do that with FIFA, though.
Yeah, doesn't get enough goals or assists.
He's class on FIFA for him. Oh yeah, we should sign him.
Yeah,
hang on a minute.
No, you're controlling him.
On FIFA. Look at him.
Werner is class though. Werner is class. He's having a terrible time at Chelsea. He really is, and not every player is suited to every club. Thiago Alcantara is one of the best midfielders in the world. Period. He doesn't fit in what Liverpool are doing. It doesn't work. No. So it makes him look shit. But he's not, It's like,
I think it was that first game that they played in where we strung all those passes together and broke the record for most passes.
Yeah, it was only 45 minutes as well, wasn't it?
That was when he showed just how class he was, but it just hasn't happened since then. I know he's been injured, but it's not worked, has it?
No, he needs someone who is going to be sitting in a more it's like a 4-2-3-1. He would sit in most comfortably with a proper defensive midfielder, an enforcer next to him, and he could be like a Pirlo-y, deep line playmaker, playing all these sexy passes, long balls, all that sort of stuff. That's what you want. That's what you want from Thiago. It doesn't work in Liverpool's midfield three. When they get a chance to do it properly, is so industrious, and that's why they've been so good, because they're pressing high up the pitch, they're getting in people's faces. As soon as they win the ball, they recycle it and spread it out wide. That is what is so good about Liverpool's midfield. Thiago ain't about that. He can't do that sort of job.
Speaking of Thiago, I mean, we were talking about this in a group chat the other day. That stat that came up about idea passes. Apparently, he's played more idea passes than anyone else in the Premier League this season. What the fuck are you talking about? What is an idea pass?
Explain to me, what is an idea pass, mate? Is that just
an idea? Please define this one for
us. An
us.
idea pass is a statistic made up for Thiago Alcantara.
He doesn't want.
It's not even a key pass. It's not even a chance created. It's the potential for a chance created.
Do you know what an idea pass is? An idea pass, is when you're shit at football and you thought about playing a ball. You were like, yeah, I was thinking about playing it, and then someone tackled me because I'm wank.
Yeah.
That's an idea pass.
Right, it looks like Everton were trying to ask for a penalty there for the ball that went through and underneath Maguire's arm. So, you're not going to get that.
In this day and age, you've got to ask for everything.
To be fair.
You've got to ask for everything.
You know, if literally just to go like that on someone's face, like say, "I want to take you out for dinner and stuff." Post COVID, of course, and it's like, "No, he elbowed me, send him off." You know, so that's the sort of shit that happens in football nowadays. Shot cross from Greenwood. I don't think he knows what Mason Greenwood's pissing me off a lot at the moment, right? Because he is one of the best finishers at the club, as proclaimed by every Man United player, every Man United coach, and a fair few of fans of all clubs. You know, he's a bloody good finisher. He has got a wand of a left foot. Yeah. Use it.
I think he's been underutilized. I think I don't think he suits playing on the right. For me, he needs to move central. A player that can use both feet like that and shift onto any foot, I think he's perfect to be playing in the centre.
Yeah, definitely. But he's like we've seen a couple of strikes. I think what was the one last season? I can't remember. Was it against Brighton?
No, the Bournemouth one. You probably think Bournemouth. Around the defender and smashed it in with his right.
With right peg.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
The thing about Greenwood, is he's been compared to hang on, we might be in, and Cavani 1-0.
How far ahead are you?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
But we're pausing. Have you even paused?
Boom.
I paused. I thought we were on the thing. Right, I'm going to pause now. Right, in the middle of celebration, we'll get back on track.
Cavani, 1-0.
Good ball,
I've not got a pause button.
Bruno out to Rashford.
Beautiful cross that.
Beautiful ball in.
Collins, what minute and second are you on now?
I am on 24.
It's a cracking ball, but
10, 11, 12. Yeah, that's poor from Michael Keane. He's got absolutely no idea where Cavani is.
No, he doesn't have a clue that he's not even really made a massive effort to jump for it either, to be honest.
But it's not that, and this is the theme that's been going on with Cavani all season. Right. It's the movement.
Yeah.
If you look at where Cavani is when Bruno plays the initial ball out to Rashford before it even gets crossed in, watch his movement in the box. He's so intelligent. Yeah. There's very few strikers on this planet like Cavani. There really is. And you only get that from experience. And unfortunately for us, he's 33 years old. How I wish he was 23.
It's his birthday next week. Did you know that? Valentine's Day, yes. You'd be able to update the old score now, can't we?
Yeah.
Cavani.
We're on it.
He's on it.
While we're updating the old score, let's do some social media plugs. There you go, folks. Follow us.
That's just
It's like he's done this before.
Never in my life.
Stuart's made a good point there. He said about talking about Greenwood, the England fuck up, and his friend committing suicide as well. I think his head was messed up for a while. We covered the England thing a fair bit when it happened. Like, yeah, he's a kid. He's going to make mistakes. I'm glad he's getting them out of the way at 19. And I do think that Ollie managed him quite well by taking him out of the squad completely. Because if he's not, there's one thing that I will credit Ollie for, and it is his man management. He seems to have really got this team on board, and knowing when to take. No, Stuart, you say harsh, but no, you're absolutely right. I think it would affect all of us in that way to be thrown into the newspaper the way he was for what we said, going out getting a shag. He's a 19-year-old kid. Like,
just learn what he's using his knob for.
Exactly, yeah. And then if any of our friends like commit suicide, like Lee, you know that firsthand. Like, it does mess you up. So
it fries your brain.
Yeah, like. You can completely understand. Like, at the end of the day, it's his job, and if you can't concentrate at the moment, you can't concentrate on your job. You need time away from it. But if you don't get on with it.
even when it happened to me, I wasn't as young as he is.
No, exactly.
The footballer is on X amount of thousands of pounds a week, so he's not allowed to have those emotional feelings and emotional ties. You got to remember that, which is bullshit. You know, Aubameyang's going through the same sort of thing. You know, he's reports that he might be going through a divorce. His mum's been ill, all that sort of stuff. But it's like, well, you're on 250 grand a week. You should be performing anyway. You should be happy. Oh, sorry, I didn't realise he was a human.
Money literally solves every single problem in the entire world. It solves most, but when life comes at you, money's not solving anything.
No, it's like these reports that come out where players are saying that they're like feel lonely and stuff, and people are like, well, you've got loads of money, so how can you be lonely? I'm like, well, I've got no one to. People are saying I've got no one to talk to after a game, or I've got no one.
What am I supposed to do? Stick a load of £10 notes on a mirror and make a person to talk to? Like,
well, you've got enough money, you can just turn it into a mannequin.
Oh,
more lifelike.
It's stupid. It's so stupid. Like
insensitive.
The fact that people just look at footballers and celebrities in general, to be fair, but footballers, that's the world that we're existing in at the moment, and just think that they're not the same as the rest of us. They're the same as the rest of us. They just have more money. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
And they're really good at football. I mean, I'm really good at football, but they're really good at football. And I'm not very good at football. Look at Dale smile and he knows. Dale's like, you're violent, yeah?
You're good at the tackling side of football.
I don't even know if it's good. Like, I reckon he's just horrible.
I would have been your worst nightmare, Gav. You would have just been like, this guy again. Like, I'm just going to write your name in the booking already. Just prepare myself.
I used to love players like that. It used to be so funny, man. Especially if they were captain as well, because I'm liaising with captains all the time, and I'm just sitting there thinking, "Oh, for fuck's sake, it's him again, isn't it?" Right? I don't even call him number 6. It's like first name straight away. It's like, Chris, come over here. It's like, yeah, I know, Gav. It wasn't even ref. It was like, yeah, I know, Gav. Fucking hell, you know my last name already. Yeah, I do. Yeah, like, here you go.
Here's your £12 fine.
It's going to be a long 89 minutes for you.
It's I'm just getting back to the game and stuff, Josh. I'm going to cross over to you, mate. I'm not seeing much of a reaction here from Everton.
No,
mate.
That's what I'm concerned about, to be honest. It seems like you've realised that throwing crosses into a box is dangerous, and it could ultimately lead to you putting another couple of goals past us. We can't even get possession off you. Every time I'm looking over, it's United in possession. And obviously, you're not going to score if you've not got the ball, are you? So I just hope that they're going to try and sort themselves out, get a little bit of time on the ball, and pass it around. Because
do you know what?
Before the ball, you had a couple of chances over in your box. So we can do it.
It seems to me like, and as a United fan, this is pretty shocking in a good way. But Pogba's actually feeling like he's running in midfield for once in his life.
Yeah,
like he's not leaving it to Bruno or Scott McTominay to do. It seems like he's actually grabbing hold of it, like just a little bit of play there where he's passing it back and forth and he's just putting little balls in for people and receiving it back, and he's happy to receive it back. It's incredible what a year does to a player in terms of confidence and stuff. And there's even reports out recently where there are talks that Pogba is looking at a new contract with Manchester United. And that kind of flies in the face of everything that his agent's been saying recently. And these reports don't come from nowhere. Like, you know, the old saying, there's no smoke without fire. Like, is he on course for a new Manchester United contract, or do you think it's all a bit bollocks to drive his price up?
Listen, there's no coincidence with Pogba's resurgence and Darren Fletcher signing at the club as a coach.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm pretty certain that...
Well, is Darren Fletcher the competition that he needs or something?
Yeah. I'd take Fletcher back in a heartbeat. Fletcher's one of my favourite players, mate.
Fletcher was one of the most underrated players in the Man United shirt all day.
I think to have another first-team coach and be a midfielder that's ingrained in Man United's history, I think it's doing Pogba a world of good, where I wouldn't be shocked if Fletcher's literally taking sessions with McTominay, Fred, Pogba, Bruno and Matic, and he's just running that midfield. Pogba, new contract, however, Jesus Christ, action areas, last 5 minutes, 0% in United's final third.
Lord. Do you know what's more damning than that? the steam coming out of Carlo Ancelotti's mouth as he chews that gum.
You could be right, Lee, where it could be a new contract to drive his price up. It could be a new contract because he's playing well and he wants to stay. Either way, I'm not asked. Because if he wants to leave, but we get more money for him, then happy days. It's been on the cards for the last 4 years. Ever since he rejoined us, he's wanting to leave every summer, apparently. So if we can get more money for him, happy days. If he stays and he plays like this, the happy days, we've got a world-class midfielder again.
Do you think you can make more money off him? Paid a lot. You did pay a lot out.
I think we'll make money back on him easily.
Well, you will have made money back on the shirt sales. If you can get sort of around the ballpark figure of what you paid for him, you will have made money on him, wouldn't you?
There's no way that we'll sell him for less than 90 million. There's no chance.
No,
not in today's market.
You just keep him, wouldn't you? If you're not.
The only risk that we run there is his contract running out. Yeah. And we don't want to. I think it's Juventus. Yeah, again, it's Juventus are setting this precedent of signing players for free and giving them all the money. And like Aaron Ramsey on 400 grand a week.
Bayern Munich, they do exactly the same. They don't spend money on transfers.
That's going to become very attractive to players very soon. Where, the club could receive all this money, or I could receive all this money. So suddenly running out your contract and then getting a really healthy contract because the club hasn't had to pay a transfer fee, that could be quite appetizing for Pogba. But who knows? Who knows?
Potentially, yeah.
As Tim's just said there, if he wants to stay, he needs to sack Raiola. If nothing, he just draws negativity, which absolutely he has done since
Lukaku did it.
Yeah. And look at him now. He's fucking smashing it.
Tell you what,
I thought Lukaku was having a good time at United as well. To be fair, he was scoring goals. Yeah, exactly. Brilliant. Yeah, and like it's another option. It's another style of player. You can't be. If Cavani's out and you want to play this same formation, you're playing Rashford through the middle, or you're playing Martial through the middle.
Yeah,
it's not good enough. And this is where like City concern me a little bit. They've got goals from all over the shop. We all know it, but if there's no Aguero, they do look different and semi-toothless up front. Like as a striker, they need a striker still. And Gabriel Jesus isn't good enough. In my opinion, if Gabriel Jesus was to leave there, he would go to, I don't know, he'd probably turn up at like a Sociedad.
Sampdoria.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those teams that are on the periphery of Europe, but don't really deserve to be in Europe either. He's Iheanacho.
Yeah.
Iheanacho. You know what I mean? Like, do you remember that time when it was going around? I said this on my pod the other day. Iheanacho and Rashford made their debuts around the same sort of time, and people were going, "Oh, who'd you rather have, Iheanacho or Rashford?" And it's like, "Oh my god, like this is a tough one."
Is it
Iheanacho
really
all day? Is Iheanacho all day?
Yeah.
On that note, I'll have another beer.
Oh, I'm already on my third.
Yeah, this is number 3 as well. After the evening session, because I played some darts earlier on today, and I had a couple of beers while I was playing darts. I think that's and watching the Arsenal game. So I think that's what got me into nap mode.
All right. Do you know what you say? You can't do what?
Can't nap.
The day. You can't
nap. No, I can't nap. If I nap, I wake up feeling like shit.
Oh no! If I'm drinking during the day, I have a nap, shake off the being pissed, and start again.
Yeah. Welcome.
Is that why when we go out for dates, you disappear for the toilets for like an hour?
Tactical.
That's what tactical chunder's for. Yeah, you'll be right.
No, if I start feeling sick, that's end of day. Close the session. Yeah. I've got the biggest phobia with vomit in the history of mankind, and now I've got a baby. Brilliant.
So, lads, I noticed that we're currently talking about naps and hangovers, so that probably goes to show how much quality there is in this game at the moment.
Pretty much.
Do you think that, Josh, from your perspective, what is Everton's realistic outcome for this season? And I'll put the same question to the other lads in terms of what United's realistic outcomes are this season. But Josh, what do you reckon? What are Everton's targets now?
I had a chat with Jeff this week. Jeff's a Chelsea fan, and he said that realistic expectations for them are top 6. I would have been happy with us pushing for like a Europa League spot after the money that we've spent, and given that we've got Ancelotti in, we've started off this season miles better than I expected. And I think Stewie's just put in the chat there exactly what I was going to say. I'll take 6th. I will take 6th. If we can just creep into a Europa League spot and then build a couple more players into the team during the transfers, then I'd be happy. We just haven't got the squad depth. We've been in Europe a couple of times in the Europa League, and we just didn't have the squad depth there. So I do think that we need a couple more strong players if we're going to be able to play league games, play cup games, and Europa League. That's what we're missing. We've just not. We're a couple of players short, I think, of Europe at the moment.
So, what players do you reckon Everton need to sign then in terms of positions to get up there?
Goalie,
straight up keeper. Need nothing else.
Carl Darlow and Olivier Giroud, I think, could be quite a good player for.
Carl Darlow, I'm telling you, he's a shoo-in for the Ballon d'Or. I'm telling you, he's gonna single-handedly keep Newcastle in the Premier League.
I like Diallo, mate.
Diallo's already won it, hasn't he? Diallo's won it already. Yeah. He got a goal and assist again this morning, didn't he?
He got a goal and a hat-trick of assists yesterday. Thank you very much.
Sorry about that.
What's the respect on his name?
Give him it twice.
Pogba's injured.
Not looking good for Pogba, eh? Yeah. Pogba's he's having a bit of trouble, and Fred, it looks like he's warming up.
Yeah. Fred, who unzipped his jacket all the way to the bottom and then pulled it over his head anyway.
He couldn't undo that little bit at the bottom. You know when he gets stuck in the what is that called? That little bit.
I don't know.
Just a bit.
What, in the zip?
Yeah. But it's the
Ask Arsene Wenger.
Wenger surely knows that one.
It's like when
Arsenal's expectation this year is to get to 40 points, and then we'll have a look at what happens afterwards.
Mate, that might not even be enough. They were interviewing Joe Cole again the other day about West Ham when they went down on 42.
Oh yeah,
42 points and they went down. I forgot about that.
That's bad, isn't it?
You'd think you'd be safe.
So,
yeah, if it looks like Pogba's
what are we thinking, Dale? Yeah. What's United's realistic expectations?
Still top 4 for me. We're not winning the league. I think City have got that nailed on. So, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, I'll take that. Yeah. If it can win a cup as well. I'm not really, FA Cup realistically, but I just think with the gap we've got as well, I think top 4 should pretty much be nailed on, I think.
Question to you guys. I just want to ask a swift one quickly.
Yeah, go on.
Obviously winning the league is winning the league. If you don't win the league, no offense, like Josh, a lot. I know you haven't experienced that, but if
you didn't need to take that one in, did you? You didn't need to do that.
I didn't need to, no. But like when people take the piss out of me, I have to remind people that we have done it before, and we didn't lose a game one year when we did it either.
Just before Gav carries on his point here, he's Gav provided us with a present today, which I'm going to play now because it's actually on the theme of Everton. So enjoy, mate.
Oh.
What are Everton?
Wow.
Continue.
You spent actual time of your life on that.
Oh. Mate, honestly. The thing is, like, from the moment we started doing Turk Top, it was 2.5 years we've been doing Turk Top now. We always wanted to understand what Everton are. Because one week they look like world beaters and they'll be able to beat Barca, Real, Bayern. And the following week, if they were to pick up a point against like an Accrington Stanley, it would be a good point for Everton. So they just don't know where they are. They think they're this, but they're not this. They think they're that, but they're not that either. It's like, what are Everton? What are they? That wasn't actually my point, though.
Whoa,
my point.
Four boys.
Whoa.
Jesus.
What's De Gea doing over there?
Lindelof got himself in a spot above. I think De Gea tried to come out and help and got completely lost in the box.
Richarlison.
Do you know what? From a tight angle, not even looking where he is on the pitch, it's not a bad effort from Richarlison.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm going to disagree, and I'm actually going to use a line out of the alternative commentary videos. He couldn't hit a barn door with a machine gun, mate. He should be getting that on target. Professional footballer Professional football, like you should be hitting the target.
Yeah,
we've got off with that lately. I don't know what we were doing, but again, another thing that's plagued United this season, just these lapses of concentration,
mistakes, and like you end up begging the question. It's like, well, Maguire, he spent good money on him and all that sort of stuff, but does he need a defender alongside him? United fans would turn around and say, "Oh, Eric Bailly, but he's always injured. Lindelof's good, and this, that, and the other." He spent good money on Lindelof as well. It's come up to 40 mil that he spent on him. So
and
then
30 mil on Bailly as well. Like between them, it's
30 mil, 70 million. Yeah, 70 mil, pretty much in total. But Bailly was 30, weren't he? 30 mil.
Yeah.
From, was it Valencia?
Villarreal.
Yeah. The other one. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to get my point out.
Go on.
I'm intrigued to understand what people think because, like Stewie put about 4th place for Man United. If you don't win the league, does it matter whether you come 2nd, 3rd, or 4th?
No.
Now knowing that 4th place, you don't have to qualify for the Champions League.
No, I said this I said this in the group chat the other day that for me now, 2nd and 4th is exactly the same apart from European group standings, which the quality of European football at the moment doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what group you put in with the seedings. For me, it's finishing that top 4, and I think it's about time we got another piece of silverware. So whether that's Europa League or FA Cup, I think now is the time. Ollie needs something. We said it a while ago about Arteta, who, when he was going through that bad spell, he had the silverware to ride on.
Yeah.
And there's still that confidence that, right, okay, we're not doing so well in the league, but we've won the FA Cup and we've won the Community Shield.
Yeah.
Whereas, I still got a Charity Shield. I'm old school.
Yeah. We had the Worthington Cup the other day, mate.
My God.
But I think it's time. I think Ollie needs a bit of silverware, if not just to prove that he's not a semi-final bottle job.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me.
It's a mentality thing, I think. I think once you've won one trophy, as small as it is,
Maguire, what is that?
But for me, Man United should be, as long as we finish above 3rd and we improve on the point total from last season. Because we finished on 66 points for the last 2 seasons. And we've gone up 1 place. I think the way we're playing and how far we are in the table, we need to be improving on that points total.
What if you finish 4th and have 73 points?
Then that's fine as far as I'm concerned.
Because then that's still progression in terms of number of points.
Yeah, progression in places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it should be. It's a competitive league this season. We've not had Liverpool literally walk away with it like we have for the last couple. So, I'd be happy. At the end of the day, the points reflect on what you do as an individual. So if you get more points, then that's an improvement as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'll get that. I'll get that completely.
If we finish 5th on 73 points, then I'll be fucking amazed.
Oh.
Yeah, but then that will show what is going on.
Oh, Bruno Fernandes. Oh, my day.
Here we go.
How far ahead are you?
No, that's what I heard.
Are you not? Oh, you've just done that. Oh my God.
What a penalty from 35 yards.
You know what it was? It was the Cantona-esque walk away from it. I am fucking brilliant.
He knew exactly what he's doing there.
That is
what a goal that is.
It's a sort of goal. That's the sort of goal that needs the Andy Gray line. That.
What about the Gary Neville?
You don't give those.
What about the Gary Neville?
You don't give those. Yeah, bit of the old Gary. That is a fantastic goal.
Reminds me of the Ronaldinho one against David Seaman.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, reminds me of the David Beckham one against Everton in 2003.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
Speaking of
final day of the season,
don't remember that one.
Speaking of David Beckham, Collins, you flashed up the comment a second ago there, but Drew Manuel, Rashi should become David Beckham style left mid, right mid. His crosses are better than finishing as a striker. What do we reckon as that is? Do you think that Rashi
left winger as far as I'm concerned? He is a left winger.
He's got to score that.
He's got to at least hit the target there. He's got to hit the target at least.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka keeping him on side again.
Oh, he's just off. He would actually just be off, wouldn't he?
he's just off. I mean, that saved his bacon, that, because that's poor.
Fucking Wan-Bissaka again.
Oh, that's twice.
I don't think
Patrick Bamford scores that.
with it being on his left foot, I agree. Bamford does probably score that.
I'll be honest, like, to take it to a different route though, he had the whole goal to aim for there, because I think I think De Gea was quite hesitant coming out.
He covered the near post. He could have bent it round at the near post, to be fair, but should have done better regardless of whether it was offside or not. Everything's right about Calvert-Lewin. This is what annoys me about him. He does everything right. He should have an extra 10 goals on top of what he's already got this year. And every week I rave on about him, but he should have more goals than what he's got.
It's the same as Marcus Rashford, though. Like, Rashford has got everything, and he does almost everything right. It's just when it comes to pulling the trigger, just something doesn't click. And that's why I said just then when we're talking about that comment, he's a winger as far as I'm concerned. He's a winger who's going to get a lot of goals. And you know what? Maybe he'll follow the path of Ronaldo and move central later in his career when he learns how to shoot properly. But for the moment, he needs to be out wide and just embarrass fullbacks.
He can be a bit of a power merchant.
He loves a knuckleball. Because you can knuckleball doesn't mean every shot needs to be a knuckleball. Look at that one from Bruno there. That is one of the most delicate finishes we've seen in ages at Old Trafford.
Yeah. What were you going to say then, Dave?
Just going back to Rashford, then 8 league goals he's got at the moment.
In 23 games? Yeah. This 23rd game of the season?
Fernandes has got 13.
Yeah.
With 9 assists.
8 league goals would be a normal return for a winger. If we were to say, he is a winger, that would be a normal return, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at positions, if you look at our left-hand side down the years where Rashford predominantly plays, if Giggsy come back with 8 goals a
great season.
That's a good season. Yeah, if Beckham does it, that's a good season on the right-hand side. Even, plays before and after that. You had like a Kanchelskis come back with 8 goals a season. That's a great season.
I actually loved him.
He was great. Yeah. I think the problem is now, though, we've got players like Mane, Ronaldo before him, and Salah, who just do everything from the wing. So we've got this expectation.
They're not wingers. They're inside forwards. I class these inside forwards. Yeah. I think there's a difference. I think there is a difference.
Yeah, if you were playing 4-4-2, you wouldn't be able to put them left and right.
No.
It wouldn't work. No. It wouldn't work.
Like Ronaldo played Ronaldo in a 4-4-2 right mid and got 42 goals. Fucking animal.
Ridiculous.
Ronaldo can do whatever the fuck he wants, and he's still doing it. At 36 years old, he's still doing it. Lads, just to confirm, it is half time for people that are watching. 2-0 United. To be honest with you, if we're going to sum it up, it's not been the greatest of half so far, but 2 moments of inspiration, Cavani and Bruno. Maybe a little bit of poor defending from Keane for the first goal, but United 2-0 ahead. Josh, I will jump to you first from Everton perspective. I think it's been disappointing. Do you agree? Do you think you can get back into the game, mate?
I think it's been disappointing. We're 2-0 down. And no, I don't think we can get back into this game. If we play like we did first half, no chance. Absolutely no chance.
What are you missing, do you think?
A brand new 11.
It's not been great from it. I've not seen. I mean, that even if he was offside, the Calvert-Lewin chance, you should be putting that away. A couple of them. Calvert-Lewin seems isolated again. He just doesn't seem to have been involved in much of what's going on.
One player who I didn't even know was playing was James Rodriguez.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah. Another player I was about to say about Richarlison. I think Richarlison's been quite wasteful. I think he's been quite poor on the left hand side. He's seen plenty of the ball. And he's not done anything for me. He's just losing the ball far too much. Gavel,
I just want to say about the difference between those two. Obviously, James Rodriguez, as we pointed out in the podcast this week, is a luxury player.
Yeah.
And he takes up a position, and he's got to be playing well if he's taking up that position. Whereas Richarlison, as wasteful as he's been in this game, at least he's putting himself about, and he does it week in, week out, and that's what I love about him. causes so much hassle for defenders. Even if he's not got the end product, even if he's not scored, at least he's putting pressure on them and causing trouble for them. And that's what I want to see, somebody putting effort in. Whereas James Rodriguez, because he knows that he's got a wonderful left foot and he is, creative and he's got skill, he can just laze about the pitch. He gets the ball and then he zips it over to Digne on the left. Same old story every week, but that's not enough. I know he scored the other week as well, but for me, he's got to be doing more. He needs to be running around the pitch and putting some effort in like Richarlison. And I would have Richarlison in the club more than I would have James, personally.
Do you think, though, and I'll cross over to you now, actually, Gav. Mm-hmm. Do you think James, for me, he's an Ozil type player? You're never going to get the miles out of him. You're never, ever going to get the miles out of him. But the guy is world class, genuine world class, and he's capable of producing just ridiculousness. Yeah. To put it the best way I can. Definitely,
and that's the thing. Like, I was going to hop in before, with the same sort of thing. It reminds me very much of Özil. You're not going to be expecting him to come back and put in the dirty work. Like when you mentioned Ronaldo earlier on, like playing right wing and in a 4-4-2, and he can play anywhere. But like when your team is against it, he will come back and he will put a foot in. And like at Arsenal right now, the two players that do that the most, I would probably say, are Bukayo Saka and Martinelli. Like if either of those two lose the ball in an attacking position, they're coming all the way home. They're putting a foot in. They're going to be grafting and trying to make something work and start recycling the ball all over again. You don't get that. You don't get that from James Rodriguez. You don't get that from an Özil type player because, as you said, they are luxury players. They want the ball to be coming to them in an attacking situation for them to dictate play in the final third. They don't give a shit about what's going on at home. It's not their job. And this is why players like that will only do well consistently do well at the highest level clubs that have the most possession. That you won't be able to see like a James Rodriguez or Özil, for argument's sake, at Atletico Madrid. No. It wouldn't work because there's too much work that's required for them before they get to have a bit of fun. Frankly, they're one of those players that will be out. Those two players are players that you're 2-0 up, 3-0 up. There's 20 minutes, half hour to go, and you're just like knocking the ball around, and that will create a highlight reel, fresh, ready-made, 4K HD, ready for you. Do you know what I mean? That's what those players are about. Can't do it when you're 1-0 down or 2-0 down. They need to take him off and start thinking about how to try and get back into the game.
I think players like that only work being surrounded by world-class talent, where you've got the world-class midfielders working hard for them so they don't have to do it. There's no issue. And Everton's problem at the moment is they are really missing Alan because he is sensational and
brilliant player.
He allows James to do what he wants because he doesn't have to defend. Oh, yeah. Love that. Beautiful. Love that sound.
It's funny that we speak about James. Good comment from Matt Boswell. Good first half, Bruno, for Cantona-like goal, like we said. James massively hurting Everton at the moment. Yeah, it's almost like they're playing with 10 men. He's just not offering anything.
I'm glad Everton can see this, and Everton fans can see this as well, because when people are always bagging on Arsenal, going, "Why aren't you playing Özil? This game is crying out for someone like Özil." No, it's not. Because we're not winning, we're losing the game. Özil is not going to help in the situation, and it's the same with James. James is not going to help or aid Everton in any way, shape, or form right now. It needs industry, and you're not going to get that from him.
Yeah, I think a lot of people talk about Isco at Real Madrid being like a similar style of player, like Chelsea, City have all been after him, but he's in similar vein. He only performs when Madrid don't need to work hard. When Madrid need to work hard, he struggles in that midfield. That's where they need Valverde, Casemiro, even 47-year-old Luka Modric at this point. Still puts in more of a shift.
Older than that, isn't he?
But yeah, when they don't need to work hard, when they can lazily stroll around the midfield, that's where Isco comes in and just controls the game, and that's the biggest problem.
I'll tell you one thing though, right? It's quite funny, like with the Özil situation, right? Do you know when Özil was most fruitful? When he had Alexis Sanchez, fair enough, and Theo Walcott.
Yeah.
You needed pace. You know what, right? It's ridiculous. Between Theo Walcott and Mesut Özil, when they both played, they averaged a goal or an assist every 60 minutes.
That's insane.
Can you believe that?
That's insane.
Theo Walcott getting involved in that sort of shit, man. Come on.
That's madness.
Theo Walcottinho. Oi.
I'm not calling you a liar, but am I going to do my own research on that after this podcast? Yeah, I am.
Crack on. Yeah, crack on. I might be out by a minute. I might be out by a minute. It might be 61 minutes.
I'll be on to you on the next podcast, commenting underneath the YouTube. Like you said 60, it's actually 61.
Yeah, it's actually 61 minutes and 37 seconds. Gap back. Fuck you, man.
I'll cross over to you, Dale, and we'll take it back to United, who I don't think have been incredible this half, but they've taken the chances that they've had. Do you think we should be pushing on now, a la Southampton last game, and absolutely just smashing 3 or 4 more past them in the second half? Or do you see any changes for Everton at half time? Do you think Ollie's going to try and change anything up? Do you think he's just going to turn around to him at half time and just say, like, what I've seen for you is amazing, just carry it on? Like, or what are you expecting for the second half?
I'd expect Ancelotti to maybe do a change, but who do you bring on? That would be the question for me. From what I was seeing, I think we were massively overrunning their midfield. But we had the ball. We had plenty of space in that midfield. You were talking about Pogba controlling the game. Fernandes for that goal of his, he had acres of space. And then even when Everton had the ball, the pressing we were doing from the front, you know, the likes of Rodriguez weren't getting involved in the game because we were getting the ball back before he could even do anything with it. You know, our pressing was really, really good. More for the, you know, Ollie was saying, you know, much the same for the second half. I don't think he'll probably change anything. I think Ancelotti has to change something at half time, but whether that's a change in system or he does bring on a player or two, you know, like for like, but there's definitely got to be something changed at half time for Everton, I feel.
From your perspective, Lee, rose-tinted glasses, because obviously you're one of the 4 Mancs in the podcast, but you're Carlo Ancelotti. You're Everton at half-time. You're 2-0 down. You've not got Alan, who is a massive... I mean, he'd be perfect for a game like this, where Dale's just said there's so much space in the midfield and we're having too much time to breathe, basically. James isn't having the... Sorry, I'll be proper. James is not having the... he's not having the game that Everton fans were hoping that he'd have. Who do you bring on? What changes do you make?
So I think that this game could possibly do with taking off Davis.
Davis shouldn't pitch.
Davis shouldn't even be in Everton's first team.
Like, well, it's actually Davis who's the problem.
Is a prick.
Now, I don't think that Davis should be anywhere near Everton's first team, let alone starting against Man United. But to be honest with you, I think it is quite a strange game because it doesn't feel like it's going one way or another, if that makes sense. I think that it may be a game for Josh King to come on and see if he can affect something and give a bit of support up front. But to be honest with you,
he knows against Man United as well, Josh King.
Well, this is it, and it's a strange one. Maybe Gylfi Sigurdsson could come on and do something different. I would probably take Davis off for Sigurdsson, and what else? Maybe Yerry Mina. I think Yerry Mina might be a good one to bring on because of the crosses that United keep putting into the box.
He'd also be able to affect it at the other end as well, wouldn't he? So, like,
you're right. Yeah, crosses,
you've got
corners, set pieces. Yeah, I think Yerry Mina possibly, and
this is for Stu, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm going to completely and utterly disagree. I think we've been totally fucking dominant, mate. Every time
we probably have
controlled possession. Yeah. I think they've not had a single shot on target. I think I applaud United at the moment for the professionalism of taking Tuesday's performance and just continuing. Like, my biggest worry today was we were going to come out complacent. We were going to come out riding off that 9-0 and we were going to get caught out. and we've not. We've used the ball well. Like you said earlier, Pogba, who was controlling the game, came out wanting to prove his point. It's unfortunate he's gone off now, but don't get me wrong, I fucking love Fred. I'm happy to see him on the pitch, but I don't know if he'll control the game quite like Pogba does.
No, he won't.
But I only see this going one way, and I think there's another 2, 3, dare I say even 4 goals in it for us here.
You know what? I'm just watching Everton lads come out here. They all seem up for it.
Yeah. But the change I would make if I was Everton, and Josh, you'll fucking hate me for saying this, but I would be getting Hammers off. I can't believe I'm saying that. And I'd be bringing on Iwobi. I'd be bringing on someone to fucking run at Wan-Bissaka and just like give him a hard time.
Yeah, at least Iwobi runs. I mean, like, I've got love for Tom Davies because of, he was absolute king for me on FM 17. So like, I literally, I give him all the time of day, but he has not stepped up to the levels that he was at when he was working under me.
So are you saying that he's the problem, or you should be the Everton manager?
Read of that as you will.
You know what? When he broke onto the scene and he absolutely ripped City apart.
He had that one game against City,
that one game, that says it all, doesn't it?
Well, I had him before that. So when my old housemate was an Everton fan, and I was like, "Oh, what do you know about this Tom Davies lad?" He was like, "Oh, he's meant to be, he's pretty good." I was like, "Wait, look, he's doing all right for me for on FM. Got me, like, helped me to get to second place in my first season. Like, I just thought, fuck it, I'm just going to lob him in. He's a good player. This, that, and the other." And then when I saw him make his debut, honestly, I was so excited and so happy. I was like, "Oh my god!" To my mate, his name Richie. I was like, "Richie, look at my boy Tom Davies." I was so excited for him. Oh my god, shit, mate. Is shit. I don't understand what he offers, because like when you play him in a 4-2-3-1, he doesn't do the defensive dirty work. His passing isn't even sideways. It's not even passing. You play him in a flat 3 of midfield. What does he do? Once again, passing and all that. His vision and all that. You play him in a more advanced position on 4-2 in a 4-2-3-1. He might go stand on the edge of the box, which you expect him to do, but he doesn't really. He doesn't score. He's probably one of the shittest midfielders in the Premier League, and it's so sad when you see young talent get slated, but he doesn't offer anything. Oh, Luke Shaw.
I mean, he must have a nosebleed being there. What's Luke Shaw doing there?
Know,
He's where Cavani.
Luke Shaw, unlucky, mate. Collins, you need to pause your stream for 5 seconds, mate.
Yeah, I've paused my stream about 4 or 5 times, and I don't know if my game's just quicker than yours or what's going on.
1.1.
I was alongside Collins with that then. I knew what was happening as well, but I don't know how to fucking pause it. I'm not going mad here. There's literally no pause button on my
You're on Now TV, ain't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't right click. It won't let me pause.
I'm straight up Sky Go.
I
could go forward 10, back 10. Oof.
That was amazing by Luke Shaw then. That's exactly what the England team needs. That's why he needs to field in the England squad. Because this year his confidence is sky high. Like, only a confident defender would have ran up the field and pulled off a shot like that. It was beautiful. It was almost
that was a Luke Shaw that we signed from Southampton all them years ago.
Yeah.
Exactly. That injury against PSV, I mean, it was a bad leg break. It was a really bad leg break.
You know what? It probably didn't help. I know we talk about Jose and his tough love, and people say it did him some good. Well, it clearly didn't do him some good, because he wasn't as good then as he is now. Like, Ollie's given him actual love and actual competition, and we're seeing the best out of him.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, there's a goal.
Will you fucking stop alerting us?
It's come up on my notifications.
Put your phone down.
It's definitely in this game.
Yeah.
Apparently so.
Yeah, I've just seen it. Well, I've not seen the goal, I've seen the notification.
Right, all of you put your phones down now.
Oh, David.
Oh, don't.
I'm behind still.
I've not seen it yet.
No, I'm on the pass through to Calvert-Lewin.
It's off for me.
David De Gea. Oh, David De Gea.
Right, this is a
Get the
topic.
fucking.
Right, this is a topic now.
Whatever you're about to say, yes.
David
Fuck
De
off,
Gea.
David De Gea. Get Henderson in.
Is he at the end of his
Question
sort of form?
Is he
Does he
offside?
need something?
No,
Fuck
he's
off,
offside.
Siri.
He's well on.
Sorry, Siri, come up. Is David De Gea at the end of his form, at the end of his prime? And is it time for us to put Henderson in? Because I really like Dean Henderson, but he has seen a little bit dodgy, a little bit shaky sometimes
erratic.
when he plays. Yeah.
He's like Pickford. He's very erratic, Henderson. But I don't mind it because I'd rather him do that than De Gea pussyfoot out of crosses and palm things back out where it shouldn't be going.
Yeah.
Like I use the Sheffield United goal as the perfect example. Like me and Ryan argue about Henderson versus De Gea all the time. Ryan doesn't like fucking either of them. But that Sheffield United goal, De Gea would not, like Henderson would have not let that happen. He would have cleared out about 3 players and made sure he got to that cross.
Yeah.
Whereas De Gea stood there, got a little push in the back, had a little moan to the defenders, not the referee, to the defenders, and then accepted it.
Everton are on again here. Richarlison.
As Stuart just said there as well, games gain confidence, and you're absolutely right. This happened when we signed De Gea when he was 21. He got so much slack when we signed him for being young, inexperienced, skinny, and we stuck with him, and he did become the best goalkeeper in the world. Do I think lightning's going to strike twice and we're going to have the best keeper in the world again in Henderson? Probably not. But is he going to be more stable than De Gea? Potentially.
Yeah, possibly.
And I think it's time to cash in on De Gea as well. I think it's time to cash in on him. I think he's done everything for the club and he deserves a send-off and he deserves a move to wherever he feels like. But we need to start looking to the future now.
Is it easy to have an opinion
you think that
when he concedes a goal like he just did?
Is it easy to what, sorry?
Is it easy to have an opinion of David De Gea like that when he's just conceded the goal like he did?
He's done it too many times.
Yeah, this is the problem. Like I can appreciate his past, and I can appreciate like he won player of the season 3 seasons in a run. Goalkeepers should not be doing that. Like that is just
forms it into the path of the player. Like, come on, man.
It's too often. It's too consistent, and I just think as well. Like while a Reading Raid replacement is there, why not cash in? Like even if speaking like logical terms. No one's got any money at the moment due to COVID. We showed in the summer that we're struggling. The fact that we couldn't stump up an extra 10 million for Sancho, so we're clearly struggling for money. So let's just cash in.
I don't even think it was that. I just think we knew, like, I'm not paying 120 million for Sancho. Sorry.
And I said this on that podcast I was talking about. Like, yeah,
2-2.
Oh, you two are so far ahead of us.
Yeah, sorry.
I did pause it again, mate.
What have we just been saying about Rodriguez? Oh my lord! Right,
left him on the edge of the box.
What a finish!
That's a beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great goal.
See, this is what I was trying to say about him being a luxury player. When he gets himself involved, when he puts himself in the right position, he's class.
Yeah,
he didn't do that first half. He was completely wasted. He was nowhere involved, just strolling around in positions that aren't going to get us anywhere.
It's the fact he's completely unmarked on the edge of the box that gets me. What on earth is going on there?
You know what? Decore has been involved in both of them. He's assisted that as well. The first goal was a brilliant run from him because we describe it all the time, box to box, isn't he?
Yeah.
Get up there and anticipate the mistake was brilliant of him. That assist was fantastic.
Do you know what? I'm going to be really critical of David De Gea here. He's on that side as well. He's on that side as well.
You should have got a hand to that.
Yeah. But the problem is, like, even if he got onto it, I don't back him to save it.
You know what?
So
it's an interesting game now. This is
so frustrating.
You know what? He set it up perfectly.
Oh yeah, for the neutral, this is a fantastic game now because we're back to 0-0.
It's not. You boys have got to be disappointed.
Oh, I'm
fuming. We're 2-0.
Absolutely fuming. We've had the best first half, coming off an amazing win. We've been so professional. You've not had a sniff. And we've not been playing 8 minutes, and it's 2-2.
We had a couple of nibbles first half.
Yeah, I mean the Calvert-Lewin one, yeah. The Richarlison one was an awkward angle. I still retain he did well to even get close to it. But
do you know who I feel for? Gav. He disappeared a minute ago at 2-0. He's going to come back and think, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, welcome to Manchester United streams.
Oh, but that's the thing, though, isn't it? We were cruising at 2-0, playing, we were plenty of time on the ball, pressing well, and now within the space of 3-4 minutes in the second half, we've gone from that to, we might not even get a point out of the game here now.
Yeah. Because this is Man United.
This
is not. This is back.
I've got a message. I've got a message from Gav. So take it away.
What are Everton?
Title challenges, mate. Title challenges. They are.
Unreal.
Oh, my Lord. Honestly.
Bloody hell, quit pissing a fag and this happens. Jesus Christ.
Gav, mate, do us a favour. Do not leave the stream again.
Please do, mate. Please go for another fag.
Just for our American listeners, he's talking about cigarettes there and not the.
Thank you. Yeah, well done.
Yeah, that's an important distinction to make. That.
Yeah, smoking
American
a fag can be a different thing across the pond.
Your mate Jeff right now, Josh is like, oh my God, I thought this was a family podcast.
Now we're talking about murder.
Oh, come on. It's 9:15. It's Watershed. We can actually say the C word now.
Go on.
David, hey, you're a fucking cunt.
Did somebody Chelsea?
Me and Collins were both on that.
Words to me.
We and Collins were both on that. Do you know, hey, was it just me that was like,
with a bottle, by the way.
About 17 different people speaking there.
Yeah, sorry.
Right. Fantastic noise, Gav. I love that noise. There's no better noise.
No, it's not as good with the bottle, but I just wanted to show off the fact I can open a bottle with a bottle. I've already done it.
Nice.
Mrs. brings over a bottle opener. I just hate people that do it with their teeth. I don't hate people that do it with their teeth. I hate it when people do it with their teeth.
Oh, no, no.
It's rank.
I don't do it. I don't.
You did one.
Pro Tam messaging in asking Pogba injury, why change him? Yeah, injury. It looked. I didn't see what it was. I don't know if it was his knee, but he had to come off, unfortunately. It's a shame.
It looked like groin to me. Groin or hamstring.
Yeah. He was having a great game once again.
Yeah, that might be sort of the reason for this turnaround in the scoreline, really.
Yeah,
we went.
Well, we've just not come out the second half.
We've not. No,
we're still in the changing rooms.
But it makes you wonder as well. Fred is having a decent season, but in a game like this where there was so much space in the midfield in the first half, why are we not bringing on Van der Beek?
Because I don't think he
would have not been an ideal.
Too.
No, he doesn't.
I'm not sure how much input Solskjaer had in that transfer. Because why spend so much money on a player to not play him?
Listen, he's been here 4 or 5 months. Like he's one for the future. I'd say this all the time. He's Pogba's replacement.
How shit was Fred in his first year? Sorry, I was just saying in back up to your point how shit Fred was in his first.
Oh yeah,
year.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fred's been excellent the last sort of 18 months. He's a much improved player.
Yeah. Fred, he was a dog in the first year.
In the first game at Goodison Park between the two of us earlier on in the season, Fred controlled the midfield. Obviously, he's having a bad or a worse game today, but he can switch it on. He could ultimately a winning game.
Just to I just saw him on there. Just to go back to the game for a second. Are we not having that as a handball? No, that's a penalty for me.
I did think a lot of players were appealing. That is poor. But
that's poor from all.
But it is probably too close to him.
Oh,
I think probably too close to him.
I don't know. Are they not going to show a replay of it? It looked a stonewall to me.
That's keeping from Olsen.
Yeah,
right.
Bit weird.
Chris Lee, you need to keep your mouth shut until we do.
I've paused again. I should be round where you are.
Yeah, I'm on 58, 50, 58, 26, 27, 28, 29.
58,
I'm
24,
exactly where you are, Gav.
26, 27.
Ahead of Bully,
I'm on exactly where Danny is.
Yeah, so you two are about like 4 or 5 seconds ahead of us.
I'm about 5.
I'll shut up, mate. I won't say anything.
So I'm about 10 seconds behind Lee, I think.
Josh is still fuming because they're losing 2-0.
Oh, do you remember that when we did the podcast during the United Burnley game?
Yeah, and Dale was.
You boys were on real time, and then Dale was about 2 minutes behind you. I was about 3 minutes behind Dale. Jesus Christ!
There's nothing worse, but they don't make it easy. I feel for you, Lee. They don't make it easier when you run Now TV.
No, I
you
can't
can't
find, there's no pause button. I'd love to be in sync, but I'm disrupted by the technology.
Which one would you be? Would you just be straight out Justin Timberlake or
Justin.
Good question. I am often pondering this. I like to think it's gonna be May. That's I think a lot of the time. Just done that on a live stream. Can you believe it? 8 cans. Fine.
What are we getting karaoke? Do you know what? Right, we were having a chat with a couple of our pals yesterday, and we were saying the thing that we missed the most about lockdown is not being able to go to karaoke and just butcher tracks. Like, I'm not about, like how you get like there's a couple of like restaurants and stuff. It's like, oh, we've got a karaoke room and like you and your 5-6 pals could go in there. I'm not about that. I don't want to care. I don't care about being in a room with my friends. I want to be in a room with a couple of my mates, don't get me wrong, and then butcher a song in front of the whole of the boozer.
I want everyone to hear me ruin your favourite song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Literally.
If I'm in a room with my friends, it's only my friends that know what happened here tonight. If I'm in the public, you are all going to go and tell your friends, your family, your kids in the future. There was a guy once in a pub.
Hey, I tell you what,
Oh my god!
Back in the day when we go to a boozer.
That memory literally popped up on my Facebook the other day where when I was in that fucking bar in Thailand and jumped up with that live band and sang Oasis. Yeah. Great time.
I mean, like these are days of yonder. Like I was watching this morning before I watched that incredible performance between Arsenal and Aston Villa. I was watching the Big Bash League, the cricket final.
Oh yeah.
It was at the MCG, full full stadium, people there, chilling, hugging, chatting. I was like, you cunts.
You know what I keep seeing? Subfocus. I fucking love Subfocus. And he's doing a tour of New Zealand and Australia. And I saw one of his gigs the other night, and I'm like, that's happening now.
Yeah,
and I can't go to the shop with my missus.
Yeah,
what's going on? Same household. Yes. well, you're not allowed to be then. One of you has to go sit in the car. Oh, fuck off.
Yeah,
people use it as a day out. It's like
you do. Yeah, especially when from home.
I've got 1.5 kids. He's like my own, the half, but he's not mine. I'm not. He's
glad you clarified that.
So. Yeah, but, I don't want to say I've got 2 kids and then and then they see me out on street with said child, like,
Rashford, what are you doing? That's a good save. Rashford's got to score.
I was onside as well.
Oh my god!
Great goalkeeping also.
Pickford between sticks. That's 3-2.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, he stays up very tall. Well done, Olsen. Great save that.
There's 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and Rashford hits it straight at the fucking keeper.
Playing him on side.
He does it too often, doesn't he, Rashford? He just can't help himself.
Pick a side.
You see what he's trying to do, don't you? He's trying to lift it over him. It expects him to go low, and he just doesn't. He just outwits him and stays high. It's fair play, Olsen.
Quality.
Yeah, he's good goalkeeper.
Cavani was brilliant in that.
Yeah, he was very good.
Yeah.
Fuck Cavani. I always have to explain that little bit about little man because like if people see us on street together, it's obvious that he's not my child, put it that way. And blonde hair, blue eyes. That's your kid, yes. But like one of his mates that because he's only 5, he's in year 1, and one of his mates was like, "Oh, can we go to the supermarket this weekend?" Like, what kid wants to go to the supermarket? He wants to see other people, he wants to interact. So, can we go to Sainsbury's today instead of Aldi? You know, you just want to see some new faces and that. Do you know what I mean? So, like it's just a madness that we're living in right now. And like when we are able to finally break all this sort of shit, we've actually got studio and some studio space, and I can't wait for me and the boy, because just as lockdown was about to start, we were still like lockdown 1.0, as they call it. You know,
many moons ago,
back in the day. And you know, we used to do it sometimes around here. We had a studio that we used to use before, and it was just it's all good chatting on here and like having a laugh, or whatever. But like, how much better would it be if we were all in the same room watching it on the telly box? And like, I don't give a shit. Like, I know you guys ain't round the corner. To Americans, it's like, what? You only live 3 hours away? That's so close. You know, I'd happily tank it up there one day, and like we'll do a show together and whatever. But like my mates, like I just want to be sat around the table that I'm at right now. And when we did when lockdown was lifted in the summer, we did a Premier League review show, as in like the season review. And there was 3 of us in the room, sat here, chatting and debating, and like touching each other's thigh.
We went camping, we did, and got pissed when we were allowed.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you could do all that.
Plenty of fine touching.
Yeah, it was good. And the thing is, like we want to get into a studio. We do just mainly because of like quality and sound, but the biggest thing is just like seeing your mates. Like, I work from home, and a lot of the other lads do.
Yeah, same.
And your only time to get out of the house and do something is going to the shop, and like you've got the football to look forward to, and it's class. And we've been dead good, like for a lot of people listening that may not already know, but it was Time to Talk Day the other day. And one of the stories that I'd written as part of this Time to Talk Day was that starting this podcast has really helped, because when you don't get to see people physically, you can at least, or we've at least had a chat with each other and with our mates. And it's crazy how much it makes a difference, because you don't often think about it, because before all this madness, you took it all for granted. Oh yeah, I'm just going to pub with my mates. Like, that was normal. Now, like, do you know what? I just want to go to the fucking pub and just stand around and play pool and just be a knobhead for a few hours. Like
I would say that if it weren't for the pod, and I'll play a lot of darts and I'll play online and whatever as well, via webcam. If it weren't for darts and the pod for a personal release, I don't know where I'd be. I literally don't know where I would be, because like I have my own like mental health issues. I was diagnosed with depression back in 2012, and then, but I didn't realise that I was actually suffering from 2004.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah,
and but like once you go to counselling and stuff, and it's like, what? Oh shit, that's linked with that.
Yeah.
Oh fucking hell! What anyone told me before? And it's still such a very taboo subject with lads, like talking about it. And you know, like when people see me, it's like, well, yeah, you know, you got a missus, you got a couple of kids, and like, you know, you've got a good job, and this, that, and the other. You know, what's there to be depressed about? It's like that's not what it's about. And it's as we were saying earlier on today, isn't it? Like with certain players, you know, that they've got their own shit going on. You're allowed to have your own shit. It don't matter how much money you're earning. You know, I'm nowhere near a footballer's wage. You know what I mean? Like, I'll probably earn as much as a you know. Put it this way, I don't pay to go to work, so I'm not a Sunday league footballer. I'm more of a, you know, bottom tier. Saturday afternoon footballer sort of Saturday. But it's enough to pay the rent and the bills, and that's the main thing. But like, it's just I just don't think that enough gets spoken about of it in order to help us grow as people. So I got a bit at one point. I got a bit pissy because I felt that, you know, we're just about to start and embark on something with our podcast. And then because of lockdown, loads of people started podcasts. It's like, oh my God, like there's so much competition. Rah, rah. It's like, hold on a minute. Why not fuck the competition? Why don't we chat to each other? Why don't we work with each other? Why don't we try and build each other up and, you know, give them a plug? You know, my podcast ain't the same as your podcast. You know, there's no podcast out there which is about football, which is the same as ours. There's no podcast out there which is the same as yours. So, and every pod that I work with, or I share, or I like, or I listen to, or watch, or whatever, no one does it the same. So why aren't we all like being together and like being like, right, okay? Because like, look, let's be honest, right? People would take the piss. It's like, I've got an iPhone, my iPhone's better than yours. Well, I've got a Samsung's better than an iPhone. Rah, rah. You do know that Samsung and
like Josh.
you do know that like Apple and Samsung, like they sit together in the same room and talk about things and you know, they push each other. From a consumer point of view, you're sitting there thinking, yours is better than mine or mine's better than yours, but they're doing it together. So why can't we at the lower level, let's be honest, you know, we haven't got tens of thousands of millions or whatever views and subscribers. We're all just trying to make shit happen.
Okay, get him, Mick Sauce. Get him, you bastard. Come on.
Go on, lad.
Sorry, I was trying so hard to keep a straight face then.
Good header,
Lee, well done, mate. You did well there.
Man, I fucking love McSauce.
My ball of that. Scotty McSauce.
Olsen, what are you doing?
No, you know, funny enough, I got a text. I got a text about
the wrong way.
One of my mates asking me, like, is it a great finish or is it poor goalkeeping to be lobbed from that range? And this one, definitely, that's poor. He slipped,
hasn't he?
He slipped. Yeah.
That's unfortunate. It's come off his shoulder.
Can you imagine if that was Pickford?
He'd be lynched.
Outrage.
If it was Pickford, he'd be lynched.
He wouldn't have even jumped for it. There'd have been no dive.
Well, you can't when you're arms like that. Anyway. Oh, nearly there.
It was a really good thing that you were saying there, Gav, actually, and it was rudely interrupted by Mick Sauce's fantastic header, the best header we've ever seen in the history of the game.
I've not seen a better header in world football.
I've not seen a better header in 60 minutes than when Cavani put us 1-0 up.
Well, one of my favourite quotes is "We rise by lifting others." Yeah. And for any of the people who are watching this right now, I apologise, but we're going to go off on a tangent here. But we rise by lifting others, and that is always stuck with me because I don't get the competition. And one of the good things about the situation that we're all in at the moment, and it is a shit situation, and everyone's struggling with things one way or another. Like, regardless of who you speak to, we all struggle with our demons and stuff. And that doesn't mean that anything that anyone's going through is any bigger or sort of lesser than anyone else, if that makes sense. One of the best things is, as soon as I spoke to you a few weeks ago, Gaff, I mean, we've only known each other for a few weeks.
Yeah, 100%.
I think 2-3 weeks ago for you know, a live stream on your podcast. I'm just gonna, what we'll do is there for your podcast, just gonna plug it there at the bottom. There you go. Or, you know, you'd think sometimes you speak to people, you'd known them for years. Like, we have all got on like a house on fire, and that is the best thing about this, and it's what we should all be doing, which is pushing each other, because what's good for one of us is good for all of us.
Good for all of us.
Yeah. Can I?
We're the next generation of like football and stuff. Like when we were kids and stuff, it was all about, you know, watching Football Focus, then Grandstand and that sort of stuff. And then you know, as things got a little bit, you know, it depends what your household was like. I came from fuck all, man. Like, I had nothing. You know what I mean? Like, when we got cable, I thought we were rich, but everyone else had already moved on to Sky Digital, and I was like, oh. We're behind again. Like, I got a NES, a standard NES, one Christmas, and one of my pals got a PlayStation 1. I was that far behind. Do you know what I mean? So like, it was tough in these streets, man. It was tough. You know
what?
But
I was just going to say, Tim Frost has just messaged in, and he says, for what it's worth, working 2 jobs at the moment through lockdown with no social contact, I've got an hour commute to 1 job and listen to both of your podcasts on the way to and from it. It keeps me sane to still hear some normality of 5 lads talking football.
Love that.
And this is, I love that. Like, thank you very much, Tim.
Love, man.
When we first started this, we literally, maybe like just over a year ago.
This stemmed from us from fucking doing pub quizzes on Zoom, and we're like, you know what?
Yeah.
We're having such a laugh. We should record this shit.
We kind of always said, didn't we? Well, let's do a podcast, but we didn't know what about. And then we decided to start talking about football on these, and we were like an hour and a half, 3 hours or so long, and they were shit quality. And then we just kind of did it for ourselves because we did it for our own mental health. We did it to have our own chats with mates. And then the thing that's grown the most out of this has largely been the interaction that we get from people who do sit and actually listen to us just talking about rubbish for a few hours. And you people that don't do it we cannot get across our appreciation enough to the people that do actually download this or watch on YouTube or listen on Spotify or Anchor or Apple or wherever they listen to podcasts. Like, you can't physically get that across to people how much you appreciate it, because sometimes you think, well, you've got to sometimes you think, well, you've got to be nice. You've got to be nice to your listeners. But at the same time, you've also got to think, well, we really, really do mean it. Like, I would never expect anyone to enjoy listening to me, especially fucking chatting shite after about 9 cans watching a live stream. Like, I would never have fathomed that. So I can't thank anyone enough from the bottom of my heart about listening to us and getting onto this podcast, and even now watching us live while the game's on. Like, thank you so much to the people that do. And it's huge for our mental health, and we want to try and do what we can to build other people up, because I think the best quote I've seen recently is that we're not all in the same boat, but we are all experiencing the same storm. And I think that is massively true for a lot of people. So thank you very much to everyone that's listening. Don't want to get too emotional just because I've had a few fucking beers. But
start drinking vodka then.
I haven't drinking vodka today. I'm on the Guinness today.
Get some vodka. We want to see you cry on live stream.
And for everyone listening to us
today,
again, we all thank you very much.
Fucking pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So guys, there is a game of football on in the background with us.
There is, yeah.
Talking about mental health.
Social plug. A fantastic effort by Bruno just over the bar. And if you're with us and you're listening to us, you'll know that we have a very special guest today, Gav Mack from 2 Up Top Football, at 2 Up Top Football. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change that logo in the corner of the screen there. So if you give them a search on Google, did you know if you search for 2 Up Top Football on Google, they are the first thing to come up? Oh, I beat you to it this time, mate.
That's great SEO, that is, for people that are wondering.
That's fucking bang on. Honestly, we're actually going to make a website. And do you know why we're going to make a website? Because
we've got one.
Yours. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah, so you've encouraged us. So I was like, oh, fuck it, let's make a website as well.
If you need any help,
look at this.
You know where to come. I'll give you a hand, no problem. Don't worry about it.
Like it. So yeah, I've actually bought the domain. It's going to be tutf.tv.
Ooh, domain extension, eh? Hey, I'm telling you now, if you want to build a website, the best platform to do it on is WordPress, and don't let anyone tell you any different.
Really, because I was going to use Squarespace,
nah.
But they don't support .tv. And I was like, I literally just bought it as well. I was like, just pay 40 quid for that.
WordPress is free.
Doesn't even fucking
honestly,
work.
I'll message you. Message me after this, and I'll sort it for you.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I don't understand tech, and I think my lack of understanding of tech has hindered 2 Up Top in the past, because we used to do our live stream literally on our phone. We would literally have a phone like that, right, and a bottle like that. Oh, how's he missed that?
I don't know. He should have hit it first time when it was on his right foot.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was a chorus afterwards. And this is why I want karaoke to come back. That was harmonised. It was brilliant. What can we get a timestamp on that so we can? Yeah, lovely. I just want to hear that bit back because that was fucking. It sounded like a barbershop quartet.
Oh my god! I just feel sad at this point. He's missed about 4 gilt-edged chances at this point now, Rashford. You've got to hit the target with that. And when the keeper's having, like, Olsen's not having a great game tonight, I think you'd agree more than anyone, Josh. I think you must be quite disappointed because there's a glaring issue with Pickford and Olsen. This is his big opportunity to take the number 1 spot, Everton. He's got a clear pathway, and this has been a poor performance from him tonight.
Yeah, it has, and it makes me even more confused about who needs to be between the sticks for us.
To be fair, this is Olsen's first poor game. And he has made a couple of good saves.
Yeah.
But the problem is, when you are a reserve goalkeeper, that's a foul all day. Yeah. When you are a reserve goalkeeper, it only takes one mistake for you to be dropped again and the first choice to be back in again. And the same will happen when Dean Henderson eventually gets back in the squad. That it will only take one game, and managers always panic and instantly revert back to the first choice.
Look at that again. That's a bit soft, you know.
Rashid's falling.
I think he was in momentum.
He's always looks like he's on his way down.
Rashford's looking for
just while we're talking about people watching us as well, Stuart. First time I've watched you guys, it's been class. Love that. Great to interact with other people as well. Yeah, love it, mate. That's the point of these live streams. You know, we've loved doing the podcast and stuff, but it is us 5. But the fact that we interact with other people on this is mega. It's got such a good outreach as well.
We're meeting some great people, and this is the whole point for anyone who's tuning in, listening to us, or anyone who has tuned in, listening to us today. Give to Top Football a follow. But any of these football podcasts, get on board with him. Yeah, follow him.
Listen to them all, man. Honestly, ones that I would like to actually give a shout out to a few other football podcasts as well. The Anglo-Italian Connection. They are brilliant. Do you know what? For the first time, because I'll put podcasts on all day and just like listen to them, but like I'll just be cracking on, you know,
in the background,
working, you know, hoovering, you know, playing a bit of darts, doing whatever. And I listened to theirs, and I was like, "This is actually fucking awesome." And I was like, "Wow!" And also it helps with other podcasts like ourselves and yourselves, and be like, "Oh, I like that idea. Maybe we could do a little thing like this and whatever." Rah rah rah. You know, like I'm not being funny. Yeah. You can watch BBC and you can watch ITV. Did you know that? You are allowed to do that. You are allowed to watch BT Sport and Sky Sports and Eurosport, especially Eurosport at the moment, because they've got the snooker shootout, which is fucking awesome, by the way. Yeah, massively. One frame.
What's snooker shootout?
One frame, 10 minutes, and you get a 20-second shot clock. After 5 minutes, it goes down to 10 seconds, like the shot clock.
That's quality.
Oh, it's fucking mega, mate. Honestly, it's brilliant. Another football podcast, which I do feature on sometimes. I'm actually doing a live watch along for the Super Bowl tomorrow. Nice. Mate. I'm really excited, but I'm shitting myself at the same time.
Do you know all about
the football
American football, do you?
Yeah, literally. Right. Well, now I was taking a piss earlier on today about fantasy football. NFL fantasy is literally the best thing in the world.
Do you know what? I was going to comment when we were talking about fantasy football. I was literally about to comment saying, at least we don't have our commentators chirping up whenever anyone does something saying, "Oh, well, for you fantasy football fans, that's 5 points for this." And like, at least we haven't got Martin Tyler telling us how many points.
No, honestly, NFL fantasy is literally the most glorious thing in the world. Each league, it will be a league of mates. You are only going to ever have a maximum of 12 people in it, because you can't. What pisses me off about fantasy over here, right, is that I've got Harry Kane and Sergio Aguero and fucking Cavani up front. But all 5 of you lot have got it as well.
So I do a draft with another group of mates, so it's similar. It's exactly the same. and it's such a better way of doing it.
It's brilliant.
I love fantasy draft. Like,
draft is the way forward, man. Honestly, I've actually got a few ideas about draft and drafting systems. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but I am actually looking at trying to get a team of people together to speak about this. So you boys will be involved in that as well. So we'll talk about that off air. And whoever's watching is thinking, what the fuck are they talking about? It's like, well, you fucking wait. You wait. Your time will come, squires. No, NFL fantasy is literally the best thing going. And it's so funny like watching the first round, because the first round, you get 2 minutes per round to pick your draft pick. But the first round of draft, whether you've got 8, 10, or 12 in your group, they literally come through, bam, 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 and you think, oh fucking hell, like I can't. Dalvin Cook, fuck, he's gone already. Right, okay, let's get Mike Evans, bam, done. But like, honestly, it's incredible. And then especially when you do PPR, which is points per reception. So you can have a look on if you're doing a normal league, and it's like, oh well, this guy only scored like a touchdown. He's only got me 6 points. It's like, ugh. But if you're doing points per reception, he ain't got any touchdowns, but he's caught the ball fucking 14 times. So that's 14 points alone for that. And then yards per catch. You get for every 10 yards, you get a point. So you're looking at players and thinking, fucking hell, man, look at him. Fucking fly. Oh, it's so sick. And like we put money on it. I've been in 3 different leagues with like different groups of pals over the last 4 seasons. And it's incredible. It really is. And what's great about it only lasts until the end of the regular season. So then you can actually watch the playoffs in peace and not worry about
your players.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Exactly.
I'd love to get into it that much. But my head's fried enough trying to keep up with football and like watch rugby, watching sort of cricket sometimes and stuff. Like, there's just so much sport all of the time, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, but American football is such a beast in its terms of like the stats that go on. Like, so I will watch the Super Bowl every year. I always do.
Did you watch it
and I
last
do
year?
enjoy it.
I did watch the last one. Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Cool.
And I just wanted to know if you saw the Kansas City Chiefs last year.
I did indeed, yeah. But the thing is, there's so much going on that to me it's just like, oh man, I would know all this sort of stuff if it was a football game, but because it's
oh my god, I thought that went in
sport. Yeah, I thought it went in as well. But yeah, I do like it, and I think that a majority of the time it's the spectacle that I like so much with American football. Like, I sometimes flick on BT Sport if I'm bored or something, there's nothing on, and it's like college football. And I'm like, I used to play rugby at university, and we had about 6 people watching, and they've got crowd for university games.
Get more how does that happen? At college football than you do at NFL, which is mad.
Yeah, EA just announced the other day that they're bringing back NCAA football for the PlayStation and Xbox.
Mate, that is fucking massive. That is massive. Like,
imagine being in college and then being on a video game at the same time.
That will literally clean up the American market, and I reckon a lot of the UK people would do it as well. But like, I always say, like, if you're not sure about NFL, you don't understand it much, or whatever. And like, when the season comes back around again, people are like, oh, well, the games are going on too long. Oh, it's too many commercials. Tell you what, fuck all that then. Watch Red Zone.
Oh, Red Zone is the best.
Red Zone is bang on the money. You literally, it is commercial free, 7 hours of commercial free football. And it's like, oh my God, this is all happening. And like, what's great in the first, like when you start watching it in the first couple of hours, there's a lot of games on, so he's constantly fleeting around grounds by grounds, and only when the ball is 20 yards out from the end zone. And then in the evening games, there's only 3 or 4 games on, so you actually be able to see more in depth as to what is physically happening. And the rules might be mad confusing and stuff when you're first getting into it. Like any sport, if you don't know the sport, like how like you won't understand it. I understand it. That's cool. That's fine. But once you start watching it and immersing yourself in it, if you like sport, it's actually a really easy game to pick up, and it's a really smart game. It's the most tactical. I call it brutal chess. If you could play chess. Oh dear.
Oh my Lord, Harry Maguire! What you idiot!
Oh,
he was going for the foul, wasn't he? He was going for the foul.
But then he lays there for like 10 minutes waiting.
Just get rid.
I think with American football, it took me about. I watched. Obviously, I just displayed the bottle opener there. Like I decided if I'm going to get into a new sport, I'm going to glory hunt. So I picked Steelers' last fucking Super Bowl win. That was my first game I'd ever watched. I was like, whoever's winning this is who I'm sticking with.
yeah.
And I feel like I've cursed them from that point because we've been absolutely dog since. But
Well, you did all right for the first 11 games this season, didn't you?
Oh, first 11 games we were outstanding, and then we started playing actual teams.
Isn't it? Yeah. Well, I thought I shit myself against the Browns. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
And like when they played against you, like I was like, ugh. And like when Patrick Mahomes got injured, I was like, oh my god, the world's over. Honestly, you should have seen my face. And my mate tried to ring me. Is my best friend, lives over in America, and so it's actually he's a Niners fan. Like I've known him like for most of my life. He's a 49ers fan. And he went over to America, lives over there and whatever. And I was like, nah, man, this is madness. And when 49ers made it to the Super Bowl, he rang me and was like, Gav, what are you doing for the Super Bowl? I was like, I'm going down the goose, mate. You know, it's like £1.50 a pint. That's what I'm doing. And he was like, no, you should come to America. I was like, all right. So I did. So me and him sat there. My Chiefs, his Niners. Madness. Bruno Fernandes. These stats are fucking ridiculous, aren't they? Bruno Fernandes.
Has there been a player to ever play for a Premier League team to have so much of an impact?
Such an impact, isn't it? Yeah.
No, such a short time.
They're in. And it's just boring, like, oh yeah, he scores penalties, right? As we saw the 22-yard penalty that he scored earlier on today. Are they going to dub that as a Panenka?
It's just an unreal goal that was. To even have the audacity to think, yeah, I'm going to fucking go for this.
That's the sort of shot that you would have when you're 3-0 up.
Yeah, this is the thing about Bruno. There's no fear whatsoever. There's no, oh, I'm going to play the safe pass, or, oh, you know, I want to have a shot from here, but someone's over there. Maybe they're in a better position. He just does what he wants when he wants. I mean, if he has an urge to do something, he just feels like, yeah, this could work. This could pay off. Goes for it.
Just nipping back, like bringing it all to our football. Tim's comment there. Telegraph Fantasy was the best. A much tighter budget, so you could not just fill it in with worldies. Yeah. I remember
like
them
that.
days. Absolutely brilliant. Them. That's it. That's why I think draft is better for me. So we're into the final 4 minutes, boys. 4 minutes of added time. Who are everyone's man of the matches?
Good question. I think that for me, if Pogba had stayed on, if he hadn't got off injured, he was on course. But I think you've got to give it to Bruno Fernandes. He's kept it ticking. He scored an incredible goal. You could argue that someone like Cavani would have made it just for the link-up play that he's managed and the movement in and around the box to cause problems for people. But I think I'd probably give it to Bruno again for me.
Josh? From an Everton point of view, it's got to be Decore.
Yeah.
Scored.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've seen him put a foot wrong. So...
do you know I've got a Spurs mate who said that he would rather swap Decore for Sissoko during this game?
All day. That's not even the conversation.
No, of course not. Yeah. That's
Can you
like,
imagine Decore and Højbjerg?
that's like me saying that the sky is blue. Come on.
Yeah, but Alan Halsey would turn around and take
The sky is Everton.
What is Everton?
What are we thinking, Gav? Man of the match?
I'm actually going to go a bit left field because I like doing that because I don't like being the same as everyone else. And I'm going to go with Luke Shaw.
Fantastic. That's exactly what I was going to do.
Because like he's been up and down that left hand side. He's I don't think he's put a foot wrong. He's also got an assist to his name as well. So
right.
he's been brilliant today. And I wasn't trying to dig out Luke Shaw earlier on today when I was saying like, why don't we look at someone like Matt Target or a Charlie Taylor sort of thing. I was just trying to encourage the fact that we shouldn't just look at the top clubs when these players are performing consistently every week for them. But Luke Shaw has been fucking brilliant today. So why would he not be man of the match for me?
Collins, you also agree with that one, yeah?
If it's not Luke Shaw, it's Carlo Ancelotti's chewing gum.
We'll call that 3 and 4 with Leslie's comment as well. I was also going to throw in either Shaw or McTominay. I think they've both been brilliant. I think with McTominay now, though, it's kind of expected.
Oh, as he just gets danced past by.
I'm about to see this. Yeah, he did. Yeah, fair enough.
The thing with McTominay, you know exactly what you're going to get pretty much every game. You're going to get a solid game out of him. He's going to work his ass off in the middle of that midfield. He'll string a few passes together. He'll get back. He'll intercept. He'll tactical foul where he needs to. He's a solid midfielder, I think.
Yeah,
I agree completely. He's the most run seal of players that we have at United.
He's Fletch 2.0, and that comparison isn't there just because he's Scottish. Like, we get exactly the same from him that we did out of Darren Fletcher.
But he's always in the big games. He's probably one of the first ones on the sheet for the big games.
Exactly like Fergie was with Fletch as well, wasn't it? He loved deploying Fletcher in a big game. Him and Geeston Park, they were the first two on that team sheet when it came to a massive game.
Oh, Fletch used to be he was the epitome of a big game player. The one that always comes to mind, the header against Chelsea. Looping over the back. Like, he was always in the big games. Awful for him. What? No. Don't say it to me, Dale.
Turn it off.
You're joking?
No.
It is.
Joking. Have we equalised?
Yeah.
Calvert-Lewin.
You fucking beauty. You fucking beauty. I was preparing my post-match chat, saying that I was pleased that we'd come back.
What did you say to Gav? What did you say to Gav?
Big appeals for offside here.
He said to Gav, don't disappear.
Oh. For 95 minutes.
Get the fuck in. Get the fuck in.
Maguire was keeping everyone offside.
There's one of me. There's 4 of you. There's one of me. You're gash. You are shite. You were too cruising.
Maguire is the captain. He's the leader of that defence.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Why is he stepping behind the line that he's created?
Boys, you're shite. You are dog. You are absolute dribble, in the words of Dale. And I'm sorry, but you were cruising at half time. You were cruising.
No, you're right. That should not have finished 3-3.
We cannot go 2-0 in at half time and come out 3-3.
Oh. Go on, Stewie Lee's lad. Go on. Look at Big Dunk there. Ancelotti was just like, whoa, steady, Big Dunk. Steady, you're a big lad. Don't jump on me.
Do you know what? That's our home form summed up as well. We've been absolutely shite at home all season. Right, cut it off. Turn it off. See you later, boys.
I'm going for a takeaway pizza.
That's so fucking frustrating. That is.
Leicester all over again. I am so sorry.
Can you just come on our live feed every time you're playing, please, mate?
Gav, I gave you explicit instructions before. I told you, don't disappear again. You disappeared. Everton scored.
Do you know what? I even put in the private chat, I was like, I'm so sorry. I tried to hold it. I can't hold it. I'm gagging for a piss.
I'm not having it. Professor Thor, you've gone. You've picked up the phone and you've gone.
Carlo.
Do it.
Pull the trigger. Oh my fucking.
What a game, though, boys. Obviously disappointing for you, pleasing for me, but 3-3.
I'm happy. Two up
worst
top
thing for
watch
us.
longs end 0-0.
Yeah, they have done, haven't they? Every time Liverpool has been on your podcast has been 0-0. Liverpool 0-0.
I was like, need a point? Do a podcast with Gav back. That's what happens.
The thing
Got
is,
those injury
looking at the
lawyers for
table,
you.
no one can go above us, even with games in hand. But it does also mean that if City win their game in hand, they're like well and above anything that we could ever achieve to or expect to catch them on. So we're actually hoping for a Liverpool win tomorrow.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. No, we're not. We're still hoping for
You still want a point. You still want a point.
for a draw.
No,
Yeah,
we're not.
Yeah,
We're
because Liverpool can
trying
still
to
close the gap towards.
We need the draw tomorrow for them to not close that gap with us and City not extend that gap.
Nah, I want City to extend that gap as much as they possibly can. I'll take another no.
I do as well, because like we're not we've said this about a million times. City, we're not catching City. So you know what?
No.
I'm putting the blue shirt on tomorrow. Fucking smash the Scouse cunts.
You've got a blue shirt.
I'll have some blue shirt somewhere.
Yeah, that's a bit of a worry. I'm not asked about. I've never been asked about City, and I think City fans find this strange that a lot of United fans. I find United fans who have got this big thing about City a bit petty, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't mean any disrespect at all, but I've never been bothered about City, because as far as I'm concerned, there's only one club in Manchester who's going to have. He's going to be the biggest name in Manchester always, no matter how many trophies. Yeah, exactly. Can't wait. Big up the Nelson South.
I need to just update on text off my brother. I've never ever wanted someone out of my football club more than De Gea. He's a spineless shitbag. He's not prepared to take a hit or a shot where it hurts him, and I'm fucking bored of it. Fuck Axel as well. Comes on, gets booked, and we draw because of it. Does that not sum up the last couple of minutes?
Right.
Cutting word, Danny's brother. I want City to win tomorrow. And for me, we're never going to catch City. We have to look at who's behind us. We want to secure second place. That's an improvement on last season. Who's in third, looking down on us or trying to catch us? Liverpool. So if Liverpool lose tomorrow, we've just gained a point on him. So that'll do for me. That'll do.
Yeah, but City going to be like 10 points clear or something stupid like that.
Yeah, if City win both their games in hand, they will be 8 points clear of United. But look, Arsenal were fair. We were 12 points behind Man United in 97-98, and we came back to win the league. So, like, the game, until it is mathematically possible, we can still win the title. There you go. So, thanks, Arsene. to their pal.
From Arsene Wenger there.
My mate has just messaged me as well. He's got beef, man. Honestly, so I'm in a little WhatsApp group. There's me, Gooner, Liverpool fan, and a United fan, and the messages have come through nicely from the. I'm going to read the United fan only. My rage against Maguire continues to rise. Maguire will never catch a break from me. I think he's the new Lukaku because he hated him. And then he also said, "Don't get me started. Literally everything is his fault, i.e. Maguire." What are your thoughts on that?
Didn't have a good game tonight, did he? A lot of mistakes from Maguire tonight, letting us in.
This is why it was hard to pick a man of the match tonight, because there was more players on the pitch who had poor games than there was anyone who had a decisively good game. I don't know if you would all agree with that. I just don't think, apart from a few players who I thought were good, like we were talking about Luke Shaw. I don't think Luke Shaw put a foot wrong tonight. Strange to say, I know, because we've conceded 3. But
yeah, but they didn't come down this side, did they?
No, exactly. You didn't hear a beat on your side tonight. And offensively, I thought he was fantastic too. He even got a shot off at one point. Bit of good link play between him and Cavani. Nose bleeding up front. And he was unlucky not to score. Hit it straight at the keeper. But
Rashford had a nightmare, didn't he?
Yeah, Rashford wasn't great. Maguire wasn't great. De Gea awful. On Everton's side, Olsen was terrible. He was directly responsible for at least one of the goals that you can see.
He should have got to that.
Yeah. See, their keeper was terrible, and they've still got a point out of it.
Because ours was worse. Ours is worse. It's highly frustrating. And when you're in the 94th minute, see the game out.
Yeah, you
see the game out.
Any time in the game, like when it comes to like the like the halftime whistle, the full time whistle's coming up, see the game out. It happened with the Arsenal during the week against Wolves, and like Arsenal fans obviously got this mad conspiracy that all referees are against us. It's like, shut up, man. But like there was 2 minutes of injury time to be added on in the second half. It's a goal kick to Arsenal as it's creeping up to the 2 minute mark, literally seconds away. I was like, right, I'm going to go roll a fag and go get him another beer because as far as I'm concerned, it's half time. Mm-hmm. Take your time, Leno. Take all the time in the world. We're in the ascendancy. We're having a good time. Literally stand there, kick your fucking studs against the post. Just chill out, and then amble towards the ball, and then clear it long. Referee blows half-time whistle. Next thing you know, it's 1 each, and we're down to 10 men. Do you know what I mean? So, like, it's once again, like, it's poor game management, and this is what Man United were renowned for game management, especially in injury time. It wasn't always about, Man United always score late goals and how much Fergie time and that sort of stuff. It was your game management when you were leading in shithousery. Bring it to the table. And that didn't happen. So, from a Man United point of view, this is really disappointing. I'm annoyed from a Gav Mack point of view. I'm really annoyed because I said 2-2. I didn't ever have 3-3. It was straight up Desmond all the way.
just to mix it up though, like because we're being very down on United, we're not crediting Everton. 2-0 down at half time. Not a chance in that. We were all sat here after. I even asked you, Josh. I said, like, do you see any way back? And you were like, absolutely fucking not. No. I'm not even backing my own team here. It's just not looking good at all. We slagged off James.
What was the point in me bullshitting? That first half performance from Everton was dog. It was so poor. I didn't ever envisage us coming back into that game. There was no way we were getting a point today.
Josh, do I get a thank you at all or not for?
You will always be welcome onto these podcasts.
Gav's Smith is in the house, saying around and going, did I just hear you say grazie on the phone a minute ago?
I didn't know you spoke Italian, Gav.
Log in for an Everton game and then go for a 90-minute fag if you like.
Fucking hell, Everton won this game 14-0. I'm well confused. That's what happened.
It's a great performance. I mean, to have the... This is the Carlo factor for me. You've never had... When was the last time Everton had a manager like Carlo who's been there, he's done it, he's got all the experience in the world at every single level you can possibly have in the game, bar international, because he's not done the international side of things.
Joe Royle.
Joe Royle, exactly. What a reference, by the way. No. But, a manager like that he's been in every single situation, he's been in the trenches, and... When you're 2-0 down against the side, who else do you want as a manager of your club?
Not just a side.
Going to get more changing rooms, but yeah.
A side that just scored 9 in their previous game.
Exactly.
Right, it's not that. You don't like lose your shit and throw shit on the floor. But like this is a team that have just scored 9 goals in their previous game. It doesn't matter whether they were down to 10 men after X amount of time, because how many times have we seen teams turn up? They go down to 10 men early on, and the game finishes 1-0, 2-0.
Look at Southampton today. Southampton were against 9 men for like a good 20 minutes today and couldn't score.
Brilliant. Newcastle were brilliant defensively today.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. I'll fully admit that, but. We've scored.
I think it's because their midfield changed and they got Joe Willock in there.
12 goals in the last 2 games and only got 3 points or 4 points. You can't score 3 at home and not win.
No. Or you have to look at that as a in a defensive situation. Put it this way, right? If you're on Bet365 and you put Man United to win, you would have got paid out because they went 2-0 up.
Yeah.
That's how you got to look at it, really. And after that point, it's technically 3-1 Everton. That's bad. That's bad. Like from a Man United point of view, it's brilliant.
Josh, you said it at half time. Your boys came out looking up for it. Like even just coming out of the tunnel, boys were the team that looked ready for that half, and it fucking like you said, you won the half 3-1.
Yeah.
The body language of the lads as they were coming out was everything I would expect from a team that is still going for something. 2-0 down, they could have come out, heads down, deflated. But they all seemed up for it. They all seemed psyched up. Even Tom Davies, who I've slated and I still don't rate him as a footballer. Like he was dancing around on the floor trying to keep warm, getting ready to come out of the tunnel. Like they had the body language there, and it showed, didn't it?
Yeah,
it showed it.
100%.
That's a Carlo factor for me, though. I mean, if Silva's in charge of you tonight, you're losing the game.
Be 5 or 6.
Yeah. If Martin's in charge, you're losing the game. If Koeman's in charge, you're losing the game. Carlo, been there, done it. No better managers to have in the changing room. You're 2-0 down. Just calm everything down. Say, right, this is the situation. Nothing we can do about that first half now. These are the strengths that we've got. This is where I've seen weaknesses from them. I've been around the block. This is what we need to do in the second half to impose ourselves. And it's got dividends. I mean, within 10 minutes of the second half starting, you're already back in the game and you're in the ascendancy.
Yeah, see, for me, I reckon the conversation would have been quite simple, I reckon it would have been like, you're not playing well enough, blah, blah, blah. I don't think he turned around and said, you can still win this as such. I reckon it would have been more of a, go win the second half.
Yeah, that's exactly what it'll be.
Go make an account for yourself. If it finishes 2-1, it's not good enough because we need to be winning these games or drawing these games, because if we want to be considered as one of the better teams, we need to be beating the better teams. So just go out there, win the second half, and then let's see what happens there. But as soon as it goes 2-2,
sorry lads, have you still got the game on?
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka fucking ducks away from the header. Wan-Bissaka jumps and then ducks his head out of it. Oh, he's a fucking atrocious footballer.
Honestly, he needs another right back there to give him a little bit of
he ducks.
He's so reactive. He's a reactive defender.
He ducks. De Gea shits himself. Maguire's about 4 yards deeper than everyone.
I said it to you a few weeks ago, Gav, when we were on come on to see sort of football for the Liverpool United live stream.
Yeah, man.
He is not, and I very much doubt, because I'm just not seeing it from him, the progression. He is not a proactive defender. No. And I just don't think he's going to be. He's constantly reacting to stuff.
I think a defender, if you have a defender who tackles a lot, is not a good defender.
Yeah, Maldini all day long there.
Bam.
Maldini never, ever slid.
Didn't need to.
And I said ever about 5 times then. And I could say ever another 5 times because you just still wouldn't put home the point I'm trying to make. You just don't need to do it if every other area of your defensive game is on point. Yeah. You don't need to be that way. And for all these stats that he gets about, so many slide tackles, no one he beats him for dribbles, it's all made up bollocks. Just be a proactive defender. Snuff the danger out before it occurs. For me. And I know it's easier said than done, but it's just poor. I've got Gary Neville on the screen now. Gary Neville, for all of his disadvantages as an athlete, was a fantastic defender. Fantastic.
I didn't actually appreciate him until he finished his career. And now I look back, I'm like, man, you're actually really fucking good. Probably just hated you because the ding-dong between Arsenal and United for 15 years. Do you know what I mean? He's the best right back in the Premier League ever.
Arsenal, right back for Arsenal in the 90s.
Lee Dixon.
Lee Dixon, sorry. I can't believe I forgot his name.
Right.
Fantastic.
Well, you're right as well. Fucking hell.
As an athlete, left a lot to be desired. But as a defender, as someone who could read a game of football, fantastic.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely fantastic. A massive part of Arsenal's success. And just to say it as well, Lee Dixon, before he went to Arsenal, he was a Division 1 player.
Yeah, he was found in the lower leagues, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Came from the lower leagues. Just a brilliant fullback. And for him to be ducking it, you don't duck away from challenges.
No.
Danny, I agree with you 100%. You do not duck away from challenges.
No.
As a footballer, you've been paid enough money. You put your body on the line.
It's like my mate just said it in text there. Like he jumped too early. He did, but he doesn't help himself with the fact that he's realised he jumped too early, but he still got out of the way of the header. You try and throw your neck up as high as you can go to get anything on it. He flicks that. It maybe flicks off the Everton player's head and goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, and then you manage the game, you take your time, you move it from one side of the 6-yard box to the other, you take a yellow card, you take the kick, ref blows a whistle, 3 points United.
Yeah, well suddenly we're level with City again. But now we're sat here, four of us absolutely livid. Josh over the moon, Gav fuming he didn't get the score right.
I couldn't give a shit. Yeah.
Tim's comment here is really good. In fairness, we've recovered more points from losing positions than any other team in history by this point this season. Barnes happened the other way once. It's more of a blip and a good performance from Everton than a reflection on us. They are a good team. I agree with that. I think we said that as well. Like, fair play to Everton. You've come out wanting it more than we did, and you've been rewarded for it. End of the day.
Just to cut across to Lee and Dale, what do you make of it? Like, let's hear your opinions and stuff, because I know it's poor from a United point of view, but surely we've all got to agree that it's a massive. It feels like a win for Everton tonight. It's a great point from where they were in the first half. When the first half ended, it's a great point.
Yeah, I guess from my perspective, if you're wanting to really challenge City, and that's what we should be doing, because I don't see the point every year if we're just not there to challenge. We're not there to make up the numbers. We should be up there to challenge. City wouldn't have conceded like that in the second half, and it's poor. I think that we from 2-0 up, Ollie's got to manage the game better. Whether that's the substitutions or I don't know what else he could have done. To be fair,
he made a sub in the 90th minute.
Yeah,
his sub before that was Pogba coming off in the first half.
Yeah, it's just poor.
It's far too long. It's far too long. I mean, whether that was a contributing factor with like fatigue with a player or two, whatever. But was it Axel? Was he the one that gave the foul away? But it's. Like Lee said, has only got to sort of manage the game a little bit better. As the subs got to be coming, a bit sooner than what they did. Even if it just rinsed off another 30 seconds, a minute on the clock. It's so frustrating. But how many times have we said that this season with him, with Ollie, and this, that, and the other? But
you're not moaning, man. Like, in second place, it could be an Arsenal fan here, man. Fucking hell.
We were there a few years ago, mate.
So much better. It could be so much better, but
this is it. Like the fucking draw to Leicester and the loss to Sheffield, and now the last-minute draw tonight. Like that's at least 6 points that we should have had. We should be above City now.
Yeah,
even as well. I mean, the game, like I say, should have been done and dusted at 2-0. It should have even been done and dusted. Rashford had a couple of clear-cut chances, puts them in the back of the net.
Yeah.
And then it's game over.
Can I just acknowledge what's happening in the comments here? Evans Williams he's trying it on here with Leslie McKee. Leslie, I really love ladies that love soccer. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
If it was a big stream with thousands of watchers, you wouldn't get this sort of stuff, but we've caught you. Evans, you horny bastard.
Hey. My guy. My guy.
As Ali McCoy once said in an old version of FIFA, if you don't buy a ticket, you can't win the raffle, son.
Don't pronounce that.
What about that comment?
I'm not even going into it. I'm not even going into that.
No, we're going into it. We're going to do it.
Go on. Someone have a go at that name.
Right there.
I've had too many Guinnesses for that.
Oh, yeah. We go back to
Oluwatosin, heavy biswa added. Right, okay. Oluwatosin, heavy whisper at detail.
Yeah.
I am writing this in tears of agony and pains. Please can you help me with 5,000 or any amount of my drugs and medical tests?
5,000 what?
I don't know. Ugandan dollars.
Sorry. 5,000 Joe.
I'm calling from your bank. There's a pigeon in the vault.
There's a pigeon in your account. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Thank you. Good night. Much love. I'll give you $5,000.
I think on that note, boys, that's a good place to start wrapping up. I think.
I feel awful. We are not. We're piss poor between a lot of us. We don't have the money to send you. But thank you very much for tuning into the podcast. It's much appreciated, and thank you for your comment. Lads, it's been an absolute pleasure. I thoroughly enjoyed, apart from the scoreline, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Entertaining game, end to end, 3-3, 6 goals. Can't ask for much more, can you?
3 points.
It's been 0-0 from that we've done for these. Yeah, 3 points. We can ask for that, but as a United fan, it's not always guaranteed, is it? Also, as an Everton fan, Josh is absolutely buzzing. From myself, Lee, Danny, Dale, and Josh, thank you very, very much for tuning in, and give us a follow. We're going to plug us on the old banner at the bottom there. We are at WeAre4M1T, and thank you very, very much to our very, very special guest, Gav Mack from 2 Up Top Football. Please follow them at 2 Up Top Football. Gav, I'm going to let you read out the line. Go for it. I know you want to say it. Do it.
Yeah, once again, thank you very much for letting me be part of your stream today. So, of course, make sure you follow We Are 4 Manx 1 Toffee. We Are 4M1T. If you put that into Google, I'm sure they come up around. But did you know, if you put 2 Up Top into Google, our name comes up first?
I thought I'd be Crouching Defoe, to be honest, but that's the only 2 Up Top I want.
Big man, little man, bam.
From the 6 of us, thank